Don't start. Can I have everyone just shut the doors on the sides if you don't mind, please? Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. We are on the record. Today is Wednesday, the 8th day of April, 2026. This is a regular meeting of the Jersey City Municipal Council. We had a scheduled 6 p.m. start and the clock on my cell phone is showing 6:09 p.m. May I have a roll call for the commencement of this meeting? Councilperson Brooks? Councilperson Zupa?
Present.
Councilperson Efros?
Present.
Councilperson Little?
Present.
Councilperson Gilmore?
Present.
Councilperson Singh?
I'm here.
Councilperson Griffin?
Here.
Councilperson Lavaro?
Here.
Council President Ridley?
Here.
Okay, right now I have 8 members of the council present at 6:09 p.m. Can we kindly rise for a moment of silence, please?
Jamie Santana.
Dwayne Baskerville. I'd like to offer this in memory of my father's first year anniversary. Rolando Lavaro Sr.
Jacqueline Natchinson. And Sue Ward.
Please remain standing as we salute to the flag. On behalf of the City Council President Ridley and members of the Municipal Council, in accordance with the New Jersey Public Laws of 1975, Chapter 231, the Open Public Meetings Act, also known as the Sunshine Law, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by the posting on the bulletin board of the first floor of City Hall. The annual notice, which is the schedule of meetings and caucuses of the Municipal Council for the calendar year 2026, and filed in the office of the City Clerk on Tuesday, November 25th, 2025. In addition, at the time of its preparation, the agenda of this meeting was similarly disseminated on Friday, April 3rd, 2026 at 4:27 p.m. To the mayor, municipal council, business administrator, corporation council, and the local newspapers, and posted on the city's website, so I can certify as to the total compliance with the Sunshine Law. Okay, council, I'd like to have a motion to add item 10.38, resolution 26-189 to tonight's agenda. This is a resolution honoring Montford Point Marine PFC Fred Jackson on the occasion of his recognition with the U.S. Congressional Gold Medal. May I have a motion to add this item 10.38,
Motion.
resolution 2089? Is that by Griffin?
Yes.
Yes.
Second by Zupa.
Okay, motion to add item 10.38, resolution 26-189, made by Griffin, seconded by Zupa. Motion to add, Councilperson Brooks.
Here.
Oh, not here. Okay, thank you. Councilperson Zupa,
Aye.
Councilperson Efros,
Aye.
Councilperson Little,
Aye.
Councilperson Gilmore,
Aye.
Councilperson Singh,
Aye.
Councilperson Griffin,
Aye.
Councilperson Lavaro,
Aye.
Council President Ridley.
Aye.
Okay, motion to add item 10.38, resolution 26-189 is approved 8-0. Thank you. Now we'll move on to our first reading ordinances. Item 3.1, City Ordinance 26-019 is an ordinance approving an easement agreement by and between the City of Jersey City and AR Skent LLC for the benefit of the public for pedestrian access and passage over and across portions of the property known as 189 Phillip Street, Jersey City, New Jersey, Block 21504, Lot 4.04. Item 3.2, City Ordinance 26-020, a franchise ordinance granting permission to 412 Liberty Avenue LLC by its managing member, Nikish Shah, allowing the installation of stairs and that extend into the right of way beyond the boundary lines of Lot 51, Block 2601, and are for the benefit of Lot 51, Block 2601, commonly known as 412 Liberty Avenue, Jersey City, New Jersey. Item 3.3, City Ordinance 26-021, a franchise ordinance granting permission to Manson Ambassadors LLC, its successors and assigns to construct private improvements within 200 square feet plus or minus of the First Street public right-of-way adjacent to Lot 26, Block 11402 on the official tax assessment map of the City of Jersey City, 230 First Street. Item 3.4, City Ordinance 26-022, a franchise ordinance granting permission to HHNJ Propco Phase 3 LLC to encroach within the public right-of-way sidewalk at portions of 15th and 16th Streets to allow for an elevated ramp and stairs for a building entry 316 15th Street. Council members, we are taking a vote on items 3.1 to 3.4. Councilperson Brooks. Not here still. Councilperson Zupa.
Aye for introduction to all.
Thank you. Councilperson Efros.
Aye for introduction.
Thank you. Councilperson Little.
Aye for introduction.
Thank you. Councilperson Gilmore.
He stepped out.
Okay. Councilperson Singh.
Aye for introduction.
Okay. Councilperson Griffin.
Aye for introduction.
Councilperson Lavarro.
Aye for introduction.
Council President Ridley.
Aye for introduction.
Okay, we have items 3.1 to 3.4. Let's see. Introduced 7-0 with Brooks and Gilmore not present. Now I believe we're going to defer to a couple items, Council President. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, may I just recap with you? Is it 10.6, 10.7, and 10.8?
Correct.
Okay, we'll defer to these items first, and then we'll individually vote on each item. Is that okay?
Yes.
All right. So I need a motion to defer to items 10.6, resolution 26-157.
Motion.
Second.
All right, we'll go there. Motion made by,
Griffin.
second by,
And is it also, in addition to 10.6, 7, and 8, are we also doing 10.37 and 10.38?
Can't hear you.
No.
Sorry, in addition to 10.6, 10.7, and 10.8, are we also moving 10.37 and 10.38 to the beginning?
No, we don't have any representatives here for those.
Okay, great. Thank you.
okay, so we're just going to keep it to the three, 10.6, 10.7, 10.8. I'll do the roll call to defer to the items. Councilperson Brooks is still not here, so Councilperson Zupa,
Aye.
Councilperson Efros,
Aye.
Councilperson Little,
Aye.
Councilperson Gilmore, still not here. Okay, Councilperson Singh,
Aye.
Councilperson Griffin,
Aye.
Councilperson Lavarro,
Aye.
Council President Ridley.
Aye.
Okay, The motion to defer to items 10.6, 10.7, 10.8 is 7-0.
Yes.
Now we'll individually go to each one and then I guess we'll take a pause. So we'll start with resolution 26-157. Councilperson Brooks is not here, so we'll go to Councilperson Zupa. This is the final,
Okay, Amanda, would you like to read it into the record, the ordinance, or the resolution?
All right, so 10.6 is a resolution authorizing the installation of a bat house in Enos Jones Park. Whereas the City of Jersey City, through the Department of Recreation and Youth Development, Division of Parks Maintenance, recognizes the ecological importance of bats as natural pest control agents, reducing reliance on chemical pesticides and supporting environmental sustainability. And whereas the Brunswick School, with the support of the Hamilton Park Neighborhood Association, has proposed the installation of one bat house within Enos Jones Park. And whereas the installation of a bat house provides a safe roosting habitat for local bat populations and contributes to biodiversity within the city's park system. And whereas the proposed installation method utilizes non-invasive nylon straps and mounting hardware that will not penetrate or damage the tree. And whereas the Division of Forestry has reviewed or shall review prior to installation the proposed location. Okay, I'm going to skip a few whereas clauses. Now therefore be it resolved by the Municipal Council of the City of Jersey City that the Department of Recreation and Youth Development, Division of Parks Maintenance is hereby authorized to coordinate with the Brunswick School and the Hamilton Park Neighborhood Association for the placement and installation of one bat house at Enos Jones Park, subject to final review and approval by the Division of Forestry. The Brunswick School and HPNA shall assume full responsibility for all costs associated with installation, monitoring, maintenance, and removal of the bat house, and shall remove the bat house upon request of the city. And the City of Jersey City shall bear no financial obligation related to the project. So I want to say congratulations, and I know we all have to vote on it, but I know this is something that the students and the neighborhood association were really excited about working together on, and I think this could be a great ecological educational opportunity. And I also want to allow any students or neighbors the opportunity to speak on this. Would that be before or after we vote?
that'll be after.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, now I'll take the vote on item 10.6, resolution 26-157. Councilperson Zupa.
I vote aye. This is a wonderful thing. And Senator, if any of the kids back there want to sit until Councilman Brooks joins us, they're welcome to come up and speak, give their remarks from the dais if they'd like to. I vote aye.
Thank you. Councilperson Efros.
I vote aye. Very exciting project. Congratulations, everybody. Thanks, Councilman Middle.
Council Middle.
Aye, congratulations.
Councilperson Singh.
I vote aye and congratulations to Hamilton Park Neighborhood Association. As always, you do such an amazing work for the community and Brunswick School. Thank you so much for getting involved for this, and I'm hoping that we can continue this concept in other parks. So thank you for all the hard work.
Councilperson Griffin.
I just want to say great job, congratulations, and I vote aye.
Councilperson LeBlanc.
Yeah, thank you to the Brunswick School and to the teachers and to all the parents and of course to all the students for your great work here. I look forward to seeing the bat house and hopefully you can teach us more about bats the next time we see you. I happily vote aye.
Okay, Council President Ridley.
Congratulations. Thank you all for keeping our children engaged, and I proudly vote aye.
Okay, resolution 26-157 is approved 7-0 with Councilperson Brooks and Gilmore not present. Do you want to call them to the front?
Yeah, I think someone would like to speak.
Yeah, any students or teachers or neighbors who would like to speak may do so now.
Come on up.
Do they want to sit in Councilman Brooks' seat?
Yeah, I wasn't kidding. I'll give up my seat if they want to be closer to the stage here.
Thank you so much. We're just going to be speaking briefly, and friends, after you talk.
Hello, City Council members. Thank you for letting us speak this evening. First, we are first and second grade students from the Brunswick School. We have something to share with you. We have an idea, but we need your help to make it happen. We had a bat expert come to our class who taught us that bats eat bugs every night. One bat can eat 600 to 1,000 bugs in 1 hour. This includes mosquitoes. Bats are also pollinators and they disperse seeds. Bats are a very helpful animal. Bats sometimes struggle to find homes or places to roost. That's why we decided to build a bat house. We wanted to make a nice home for bats, so we built a bat house using wood, hammers, and nails. We also painted it with black weatherproof paint. We would like to place the bat house in a tree in the wooded area beside Enos Jones Park. A bat house would help kids like us to learn more about animals and science. We could see nature working firsthand. Bat houses are safe and they don't bother people. They don't take up much space and they are not expensive. Adding a bat house would show that our city cares about nature and wants to protect wildlife. Please help us give bats a home in our ecosystem by allowing us to install the bat house in the park. Thank you for your consideration and for the opportunity to speak with you this evening.
I just want to thank all the students who spoke. You all were incredible and that was amazing and you did a great job. And I'm so excited to see you get to have your bat house.
Can you take a photo?
Yeah.
You stay up there, folks are going to come down.
And just for the record, they were all under 3 minutes.
I thought Sean was not working today.
As for the teacher, excuse me. That's me. Can you come to the microphone? Can you just state your name for the record, please? Yes, my name is Allison Skaggs. I'm the first and second grade teacher at the Brunswick School. Thank you. Come on over. Ours.
Oh. City with Sam and her mother.
A billionaire Batman. Bruce Wayne.
I know.
Okay, council members, we're gonna move on to the next resolution.
Back.
We're gonna move to item 10.7, resolution 26-158. Council President, who would you like to
It's me.
introduce that one?
Councilman Zupa will, read that one into the record.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is a resolution honoring the tremendous work going on at the Golden Door Charter School on Kennedy Boulevard, right in Ward C. Before I read the resolution, just to give some background, Golden Door is the only school in New Jersey to receive a national award, which is tremendous. I attended the program honoring this event this week, and I learned that there are 24 different languages spoken by the students at Golden Door, which really encompasses the diversity of our ward and, of course, of our city. So I proudly offer this resolution honoring Jersey's Golden Door Charter School. Whereas the city of Jersey City is pleased to recognize and commemorate the academic achievements of the Jersey City Golden Door Charter School. And Jersey City's Golden Door Charter School has been named a 2026 National Elementary and Secondary Education ESEA Distinguished School. And whereas this recognition honors the school's outstanding work in serving its multilingual learner population and its commitment to fostering an inclusive, high-quality educational environment where all students can succeed. And whereas the 2026 ESEA Distinguished Schools Program is sponsored by the National Association of ESEA State Program Administrators, which recognizes schools demonstrating exceptional student progress and strong performance on ESEA indicators. Whereas as part of this award, the charter school received $15,000 to enhance programming at the school, which serves a high percentage of children from low-income families, and was celebrated alongside other ESEA distinguished schools nationwide at the conference in February of 2026. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Jersey City that the city hereby recognizes the Jersey City Golden Door Charter School for its academic achievements and for being named as the 2026 National Elementary and Secondary Education Act Distinguished School in recognition of its service to the residents of Jersey City.
Okay, thank you. We're gonna take a vote on this resolution 26-158. Person Brooks, I'd like to, at 6:31, so we now have 9 council people in attendance. Do you want me to go back and do the votes with you now, or do you want to do that at the end?
We'll do that at the end.
Sure.
Thank you.
All right, so we'll go from here. Resolution 26-158, Councilperson Brooks.
Aye.
Councilperson Zupa.
Aye.
Councilperson Efros.
Aye.
Councilperson Little.
Aye.
Councilperson Gilmore.
Aye.
Councilperson Singh.
Aye, and congratulations for the good work.
Councilperson Griffin.
I just want to say, I have my little brother, my little sister, my little cousins, they all graduated from Golden Door. My sister and cousins graduated from the school downtown. My little brother graduated from Kennedy Boulevard. Great school, very family oriented, quality education. And I just want to say congratulations. Aye.
Councilperson Navarro.
And congratulations to the administrators and teachers and all the entire Jersey City Golden Door Charter School community. Great job. I vote aye.
Council President Ridley.
I want to say congratulations. Thank you for all that you do here in the city with our kids, and I vote aye.
Okay, resolution 26-158 is approved 9-0.
And can we have some wonderful people from the school come up, including our principal, if you'd like to say a few words?
Hi, good evening. My name is Tabitha Madera. I'm the principal at Golden Door Charter School. I've been there for 26 years. This is my third year in this role as principal. And on behalf of our entire school community, thank you to the council for recognizing our school as a recipient of the ESEA National Distinguished School, the only school selected in the state of New Jersey. This honor reflects dedication of our teachers, including Mrs. Catherine Clark, who is our ESL teacher. We were recognized for our multilingual population and the progress that the students made through our ASP strategic planning. We're also here joined by one of our ML families who are here to join us today. So we are grateful and proud that our school has accomplished together and grateful for the partnership that we share with the city. Thank you for celebrating this achievement with us.
Hi, my name is Pawan and I am from the Golden Door Shutter School. I am from 5th grade and I am going to talk about my school. My very deepest respect to all of the council members and especially for Councilman Jupa. And I am very proud to be a part of the ESL program and thank you.
Very good.
I'm Kathy Clark. I'm the ESL teacher. Pavan spoke at our celebration yesterday in Tamil because he's fully bilingual. And this is my daughter, and she really wants to speak on the microphone. When she goes to pre-K, she's 5.
I'm proud of my mom.
I love going to Golden.
I love going to Golden Door.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, buddy. That's right there, right?
Dr. Momsa, sir. Excuse me.
It's
Dr.
okay.
Momsa.
There we go. If you angle, Mom will find a way. Congratulations again. Thank you. See you soon.
Oh, one more. We got, oh, right. Yolanda.
Oh, I got mine. Gotcha.
Zoom in.
Okay, we're moving on to the next resolution that we are deferring to. This is Resolution 26-159. Councilperson Brooks.
Oh, Council
One
President.
second, Amit, we're gonna have Councilman Zupa read it into the record.
Okay.
All right, I'm up again, and I'll hit my quota for speaking for the meeting after this. And I'll do so proudly, offering a resolution recognizing the month of April 2026 as Sikh Heritage Month. This is the third time Jersey City is honoring this community, and we're being honored by this community. I want to appreciate Arjman Jawaria from my office for offering this once again, bringing this to Jersey City and throughout the 12 towns of Hudson County. Whereas the city of Jersey City is pleased to recognize and commemorate the monumental achievements of the Sikh community and to bring awareness to the month of April 2026 as Sikh Heritage Month. Sikhism is the fifth largest religion in the world, with nearly 30 million followers, including approximately 500,000 in the United States. Sikhism, which originated in Punjab, India in the 15th century, teaches its followers to practice the universal principles of truthful living, service to humanity, and devotion to God, and affirms that every human being, regardless of race, gender, or creed, is equal in the eyes of God. And Sikhism has long been recognized as a pioneer of social justice, with female participation in religious ceremonies widely encouraged. And the religion's emphasis on selfless service inspires members of the Sikh community to make lasting social contributions, including providing free meals to those in need through initiatives such as the annual Let's Share a Meal event in Jersey City, and the work of the Nanak Nam Jahaj Gurdwara, which serves as a hub for community service and engagement. And members of the Sikh community continue to experience discrimination, including school bullying and instances of physical and verbal abuse, often rooted in the anti-Sikh bias and misconceptions regarding articles of faith, such as uncut hair and turbans. And whereas there is a continued need for public education and awareness to highlight the invaluable contributions of the Sikh community and to combat religious discrimination and bigotry, now therefore be resolved by the City Council of the City of Jersey City that the city recognizes the month of April 2026 as Sikh Heritage Month in honor of the Sikh community's dedication, contributions, and enduring impact on our Jersey City community.
Okay, now we'll take the vote on resolution 26-159. Councilperson Brooks.
I vote aye, and congratulations to the Sikh community, and thank you for welcoming me to the Gurudwara on the west side. And I proudly vote aye.
Councilperson Zupa.
Vote yes, and just again briefly say that Arjman, who is not of the Sikh faith, shows the diversity and understanding and awareness of being multicultural and bringing everyone together. And I proudly vote aye.
Councilperson Efros.
Aye, much appreciation to the Sikh community and much appreciation to Councilman Zupa and to Arjman for bringing this forward.
Councilperson Little.
I proudly vote aye. Happy to honor our Sikh community here in Jersey City, which contributes so much to the culture of Jersey City and to serving our neighbors. So thank you for all you do.
Councilperson Gilmore.
Aye.
Councilperson Singh.
I vote aye, and Bole Sunihal Sat Sri Akal. I'm so proud the work this community has been doing over the years. Let's Share a Meal, even around COVID, they were making sure feeding people, and it's such a selfless work. They have been putting hours of cooking the food, collecting the donations for the vulnerable in all the communities. You never cared about where they come from, and doing the work which we are so proud of. So thank you, and I vote aye.
Councilperson Griffin.
I vote aye.
Councilperson Lavaro.
Thank you to the members of our Sikh community, the leaders, the contributions that the Sikh community makes to Jersey City. Jersey City is the most diverse city in the entire nation, and we're proud to celebrate the Sikh community and all of our diverse communities here in Jersey City. Thank you. I proudly vote aye.
And Council President Ridley.
I proudly vote aye. Always a pleasure to celebrate our diversity here in the city. Thank you to the Sikh community for being a valuable part of Jersey City. We appreciate all that you do here.
Okay, resolution 26-159 is approved 9-0.
I understand there's some speakers. I think Arjman's going to introduce those in the community who have come to celebrate with us.
Good evening, Honorable President Dennis Ridley, and esteemed council members and valuable members of Jersey City, especially from Gurdwara, Nanak Nam Jahaj Gurdwara, Sikh community. My name is Arjuman Juveria, and it is profound honor to stand before you today as a pharmacist and community activist. I take great pride in being a recipient of the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award from our former President Joe Biden, the Daily Point of Light Award founded by former President George H.W. Bush, the New Jersey Governor's Medallion Award from Governor Phil Murphy, and the Women of Action Award from Jersey City. Additionally, I have been honored with the Raspberry Award, recognition on the Jersey Cares Walk of Fame Award, and just last month, I received a doctorate in philosophy in faith and public service. Today, we gather to celebrate a momentous occasion, Sikh Heritage Month. This month is not just a date on our calendars. It symbolizes a vibrant tribute to the rich tapestry of Sikh culture and the invaluable contributions that Sikhs have made to our community. It is a time to honor the principles of equality, justice, and service that lie at the heart of the Sikh teachings and acknowledge the beautiful diversity that enhances our society. I take pride in having led the effort to recognize Sikh Heritage Month in September 2023, a journey that has taken me through all 12 towns of Hudson County. I'm excited to announce that 9 of those towns, including Hudson County itself, has already passed resolutions supporting this important initiative, with the remaining 3 actively working towards similar recognition. I'm hosting events in libraries, colleges, schools, and community college. This marks the 3rd proclamation for Sikh Heritage Month from our city, showcasing our collective commitment to promoting culture, understanding, and appreciation. I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to Ward C Councilman Tom Zuppa, who upon my outreach stepped forward as a primary sponsor of this bill. Your support has been instrumental in bringing this initiative to life, and I thank for your unwavering commitment to our community. Additionally, I wish to convey my sincere appreciation to our Mayor James Solomon for his incredible support. I would also like to thank all council members, including Council President Dennis Ridley, Ward B Councilman Joel Brooks, Ward D Councilman Jacob Frost, Ward E Councilman Ilyana Little, Ward F Councilman Educational Gilmore, Council at Large Lavaro Rolando, Mamta Singh, and Michael Griffin for their advocacy on this cause. Your dedication to fostering a diverse and inclusive community is truly inspiring. In conjunction with our celebration, I want to highlight the Let's Share a Meal initiative founded under the visionary leadership of Omkar Singh Ji. This initiative embodies the spirit of selfless service, as we have successfully prepared and delivered over 10,000 meals across the tri-state areas to shelters, the homelessness, and those in need twice a year. This remarkable effort exemplifies the power of community and compassion, reflecting the core values of Sikhism, service to humanity, and the importance of caring for one another. As we celebrate Sikh Heritage Month, let us take this opportunity to reflect on the teachings of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, who emphasized equality among all people, regardless of their background. Sikhism teaches us about the unity of humanity, the significance of honest living, and the necessity of sharing our blessings and others. Let us remember the sacrifice made by countless individuals who have paved the way for the future where diversity is embraced and celebrated. Together, let us create an environment where cultural appreciation flourishes, where we learn from one another, and where our differences becomes the very foundation of our strength. This month is not merely a celebration of Sikh heritage, it is a call to action for all of us to unite in our commitment to justice, equality, and love for our fellow human being. Thank you for being part of this extraordinary celebration of Sikh Heritage Month. Let us continue to work hand in hand, building a brighter, more inclusive future for Hudson County, Jersey City, and beyond. Thank you. Now, I would like to invite Arvinder Singh Ji to have few words.
Good evening. My name is Arvinder Singh. I want to thank you, Council President Ms. Ridley, respected council members, and especially Councilman Tom Zupa, Mamta Singh, and Anjuman for introducing this bill. Really, really appreciate that. And we really honor that, April month is being celebrated as Sikh Heritage Month in a city hall, in a city. We, as a member of this Jersey City residents, we want to be here. We just feel that we are part of this community. We are part of this city. We're part of this culture. That's the most important thing. Whether we do work here, we do business here, we invest in this city. That's the most respected city that I felt that, by living in New York for 10 years and living in Jersey City for the last 25 years, I feel this is my hometown and we are honored. So thank you so much, council people, council members. We are honored to be part of this city. Thank you.
Council members, you want to grab a photo?
I would like to invite one more, Jaswinder.
Good evening, esteemed members of the council. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Sikh community actually has been very fortunate to find home in one of the most diverse cities in the country. We feel proud about it. Of course, Jersey City is one of the transit cities. Most people who land, who are expats, are coming here for work, whether they are working in banking, IT industries, or whether they are working in making buildings, and whether it's in real estate. As you may know, Omkar Singh has been one of the pioneers in doing great work for the community and taking along his vision to contribute towards the community. And Sharmil has been doing that for over 13 years now. Just to thank you very much for Arjuman to basically and Tom to introduce this bill. Thank you very much. And lastly, we invite all of you and everybody over here from the city to be part of our next food drive, which is going to be happening on 18th April. So we will be actually going out to, again, 10,000 meals across various shelters. This is going to be fresh cooked meals, so we need a lot of help to pack and definitely bring your kids. It basically gives them a great opportunity to see how the word seva, as we say, as we call, right, community service works. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Kirat Singh, and the reason I like Jersey City is because my family and friends live there, and we help each other out. This month is very special for us because it's Visakhi, and in this month we're doing Let's Share a Meal. We go to different shelters and serve to people, and when we serve the food, we feel happy because you're sharing. And I realized that we can also share by caring. We don't need to share by food only. Thank you.
Great job, young fella.
Going up. Oh.
Yes.
Council meeting should be like this every, right?
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Before I move on to the second reading ordinances, I'm just going to go back to the first readings, to the introduction. I'm going to have to get the votes for Councilperson Brooks and Gilmore. So for our first reading ordinances, items 3.1 to 3.4 for introduction, Councilperson Brooks.
I vote aye for introduction.
Thank you. Councilperson Gilmore.
Aye for introduction.
Thank you. Okay, so now we are introducing items 3.1 to 3.490. Resolution 26 157. Councilperson Brooks, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilperson Gilmore. Okay, thank you. So resolution 26 157 is approved 9-0. Okay, on to our second reading ordinances. First, second reading ordinance, item number 4.1, City Ordinance 26-016. This is an ordinance that is carried from the March 25th meeting. I'll read it into the record again. It's an ordinance supplementing Chapter 332, Vehicles and Traffic, Article 8, Permit Parking, amending Section 332-58, Restrictions in Residential Zones to establish a new permit parking zone 20 for streets adjacent to the Liberty State Park HBLR station east of Pacific Avenue. This is a public hearing on City Ordinance 26-016. Is there a member of the public?
Amanda, I'm going to motion to table. We had our public meeting last night on 4.1, and the community would like to go back and have another meeting. They would like to expand the area and maybe make a few changes. So we are going to vote to table this for now, and once they meet, we will introduce a new ordinance
You want to
Our
table
clerk.
it prior to
the
Close
public hearing.
prior to conducting a public hearing.
Correct.
So the motion is to table city ordinance. Give me the number.
Motion.
26-016.
Prior to conducting a public hearing.
Correct.
Motion made by Councilperson Griffin. Second-
Gilmore.
Sorry, Gilmore, I didn't see.
Second.
Second by Griffin.
Gilmore.
Stop.
Are you the attorney on the project, sir?
Thank you, Sean.
Motion to table City Ordinance 26-016, Councilperson Brooks.
Aye.
Councilperson Zupa.
Aye.
Councilperson Efros.
Aye.
Councilperson Little.
Aye.
Councilperson Gilmore.
Aye.
Councilperson Singh.
Aye.
Councilperson Griffin.
Aye.
Councilperson Lavaro.
Aye.
And Council President Waterman.
Ridley.
Oh, Ridley. Oh, my God. Sorry.
That's okay. Aye.
She can't do the meetings no more, Sean. Be removing her
If
from.
you don't stay in your seat, you make it more difficult for me too. Oh, there.
You're doing a great job. Keep it up.
Thank you. Thank you
You're
so
doing a great job.
much. Okay. So we're
Remember,
going-
I'm the one with tenure, not you.
All right, so we're going to move on to the next city ordinance. This is a second reading. This is item 4.2, City Ordinance 26-017, an ordinance supplementing Chapter 332, Vehicles and Traffic, Article 3, Parking, Standing, and Stopping, amending section 332-24, parking prohibited certain hours at PS 1696 Sussex Street. This is a public hearing on City Ordinance 26-017. Do I have any members of the public wishing to be heard?
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Councilperson Gilmore, seconded by Council President Ridley. Motion to close the public hearing on City Ordinance 26-016. Councilperson Brooks.
Aye.
Councilperson Zupa.
Aye.
Councilperson Efros.
Aye.
Councilperson Little.
Aye.
Councilperson Gilmore.
Aye.
Councilperson Singh.
Aye.
Councilperson Griffin.
Aye.
Councilperson Lavaro.
Aye.
Council President Ridley.
Aye.
Okay, to close the public hearing for City Ordinance 26-016, motion carries 9-0. For final consideration and adoption of City Ordinance number 26-016, Councilperson Brooks.
Aye. Aye.
17, right, I'm so
sorry.
sorry. Moving to 17. Councilperson Brooks, aye. Okay, Councilperson Zupa.
Aye.
Councilperson Efros.
Aye.
Councilperson Little.
Aye.
Councilperson Gilmore.
Aye.
Councilperson Singh.
Aye.
Councilperson Griffin.
Aye.
Councilperson Lavaro.
I'm sorry, I just want to clarify, Council President, we're voting to approve 26-016?
Correct. This is for final consideration and adoption.
7.
It's 016.
017.
I fixed myself. I
Yeah,
did
okay.
017. Yeah, we tabled
Make sure.
016. I'm
Uh,
sorry.
I vote aye.
Council President Ridley.
Aye.
Okay, for city ordinance is adopted 9-0. This is city ordinance 26-017. Okay, second reading item number 4.3. This is city ordinance 26-018. This is an ordinance amending chapter 53 personnel article 2 fixed salaries to modify fixed salaries for certain employees. We have someone here to speak. Can you please speak your name for the record?
Yvonne Bolser.
Thank you, Yvonne.
Okay, I really have a problem with this because as I read it, it talks about maximum salary shall be reasonably consistent with the maximum salary range. Well, you know, Jersey City had 4,200 properties in 2024 in tax lien. Your neighbor, Secaucus, had one, which, well, they're 1/10 our population. But if you multiply that by 10, that would be 10 properties in tax lien. So we're talking about a city that's begging and going into Trenton, and we have to get money to subsidize our budget. We also heard recently that the school is asking for a $2,000 increase because they raised their taxes, their rate 17%, from what I read from Hudson County View. So we're talking about what is reasonable? How much more do we have to pay? You people ran on the notion that you were different from the previous administration, yet the previous administration also raised salaries. So how different are you? You're not. The point of it is, how many more people do you want to lose their homes? Because Jersey City, out of all the other counties in Jersey City, Hudson County, we are the one with the most tax liens, and we never talk about that. We always talk about, you know, affordable housing, but you can't have a house that's just not affordable because of taxes. You ignore the fact why it's not affordable. That's what you really ignored. So, you know, the point of it is, if I was a legislator in Trenton and I'm seeing you're talking about raising salaries to the minimum amount, and you want money from me to balance your budget, I would say no to you. That's what I would say. I don't think we're doing the right thing at all. I think we should first take care of our budget. I'm not against salaries increases. I am not. But we have to first take care of your home. There's no way I would tell my husband, let's buy a new car, knowing that we have to pay more money in taxes this year because I have to balance my household expenses. But you're not doing that. Thank you.
Okay. Yes. The clock, yeah.
I didn't even introduce myself. I went actually before I begin, when Yvonne Balser came up, her time didn't even go off.
I apologize. That's my error.
Yes.
You,
So can you restart that? Thank you. Okay, thank you. Danielle D'Adamo, Danielle, D'Adamo, D as in David, D as in David, AMO. Good evening, Council President and members of the council. I want to speak on this ordinance with both support and concern because the reality is it's not as simple as yes or no. On one hand, I understand the need for competitive salaries. Jersey City is no longer a small municipality. We are a growing, complex city, and we need experienced, qualified leadership to manage departments, oversee budgets, and deliver services effectively. If we understand these roles, we risk turnover, instability, and ultimately a decline in how government functions for residents. But on the other hand, this cannot exist in a vacuum because residents right now are struggling with affordability, with quality of life issues, with inconsistent services. And when they see salary increases at the top, the question becomes, where is the return on that investment? That's the disconnect. This isn't just about salaries. It's about trust and accountability. If we're going to support increases like this, then they must come with transparency, with clear expectations, and with measurable outcomes that residents can actually feel in their day-to-day lives. Because leadership should not just be compensated well, it should be performing well, visibly and consistently for the people of this city. So yes, invest in strong leadership, but do it in a way that centers residents, demands results, and builds public trust. Thank you.
any other member of the public wishing to be heard?
Motion.
Okay, motion made by Gilmore,
Second.
second by Councilperson Ridley. Motion to close the public hearing on City Ordinance 2017. Councilperson Brooks,
Aye.
Councilperson Zupa.
Vote aye. And before we vote on the final question, I have a question for the BA.
You can finish the vote to close and then we'll take Councilman Zupa's question.
Sure. Councilperson Efros,
Aye.
Councilperson Little,
Aye.
Councilperson Gilmore,
Aye.
Councilperson Singh,
Aye.
Councilperson Griffin,
Aye.
Councilperson Lavaro,
Aye.
Councilperson Ridley.
Aye.
Okay, to close the public hearing on ordinance 9-0. For final consideration and adoption of city ordinance 26-017, Council.
Oh, 1 second.
I just had a
Councilman
question.
Zupa has a question.
Question for Peter. I think Peter, I think you're the one suited to answer. So with this change, people who are currently in the roles, can their salary be adjusted without coming back to the council? Might be a question for Sarah.
Yes, they could be adjusted prior to coming back to council. However, as I stated previously, the administration is committed to making the council aware of any salary adjustments before they occur by physically contacting with an email or meetings to discuss any changes before they happen.
Okay, thank you.
So I guess to follow up on Councilman Zupa's question, if we do receive that email and there is, I guess, discrepancies, the next step is what?
Sure, you mean by discrepancy, Councilwoman? That's right.
If there is, you know, the changes are coming before the council. So I guess if the council has any questions about the salaries, we would just engage and work it out.
Yeah, you could always contact us directly. The salaries will be in the budgets when the budget's introduced and voted on, so you'll see them all there. So if anything is inconsistent with what we contact you about, you know, feel free to call us on it and we can have a discussion. But, you know, again, the administration is committed to speaking to everyone prior to that and discussing before the changes actually go into place.
And Peter, if you can, with respect to these positions, for the increases, if you can speak to how they're equal to or in the realm of other first-class cities as it relates to, those positions being paid in that city?
So there's 3 first-class cities. We have Patterson, Newark, and Jersey City. So it would be a look at what their salaries are compared to what Jersey City is, and then do an analysis of our local markets to see how that might, you know, how those cities might compare to our local conditions here and whether or not it would warrant a potential increase or decrease compared to what their salaries are, what the conditions are in Jersey City.
No, if you can speak to, like, what are the ranges in those cities?
So it depends on what position we're talking about. For certain statutory employees, such as department directors, I think they're anywhere from 150 to 200,000. I believe for the statutory employees, such as clerk, assessor, the tax collector as well, I believe they're in between the 150 to 175,000 range. The mayor, I believe, is around 180,000 in the different cities. Again, this is more from memory, so don't hold me exactly to the number, but they're all in that general ballpark.
Okay, Amanda.
Okay, for final consideration of an adoption of City Ordinance 26-017, Councilperson Brooks,
Is it 26-018?
Yes.
the last one that we're
Yes.
018. Yeah.
018.
Okay. Aye.
Councilperson Zupa,
I'm sure Yvonne will be shocked that I agree mostly with what she said. The only disagreement I have is that the reasonably consistent allows the city to pay less than the other towns, not just more. So it's not just characterized as an increase. It could be that our directors are paid less than what the BA in Newark is, for just as example, what the BA in Newark is being paid. Because it says reasonably consistent, I'll vote aye, but I will be concerned about the spending in our budget going forward.
Councilperson Efros,
I vote aye.
Councilperson Little,
I vote aye. I echo Councilman Zupa's comments on the reasonably consistent language, and I appreciate the administration's commitment to transparency with the council. And we will be keeping an eye on spending. Thank you.
Councilperson Gilmore,
This one right here is a little different for me in a sense. I see what the administration is trying to do by trying to attract individuals of the top tier, to help steer the ship to get us out of the pitfall in which we are in. But on the other hand, I do also understand community cries as well. So for me, just given all of those dynamics, I'm gonna abstain from this 4.3.
is that aye?
Abstention.
You're abstaining? Okay. Councilperson Singh,
I vote aye.
Councilperson Griffin,
Abstain.
Councilperson Lavaro,
I vote aye.
Council President Ridley,
Aye.
okay, for final consideration and adoption of City Ordinance 26-018. City Ordinance is adopted 7-0 2 with Councilperson Gilmore and Councilperson Griffin abstaining. We are now on to the public hearing section of our meeting. We'll start with Laverne Washington.
Good evening.
I appreciate you, Council Vice President Gilmore, to help arrange for me to go into the well building commercial space. I have gave out over 100 rooms of furniture. A lady called me just the other day. She was Filipino. She couldn't understand. She said, "Miss, I lost all my furniture." And she moved down on EM and she had 5 kids, and 3 of them are autistic. And she called me on the phone thanking and appreciating to get 4 rooms of furniture, some nice shit. This furniture is not garbage. Like I told you all before, the bed, the orthopedic, the mattress runs $3,500. This furniture came out of mid-Manhattan Marriott. And these people that's getting these marble top dresses, lamps, and nightstands with lamps attached, television, mirrors, backboards. But it's been a blessing to Jersey City. Not Ward F, but Jersey City. I gave it out down here, up in the Heights, and everywhere. I got a few more weeks to do this, but I've been looking for my own space. I haven't heard back from the city yet. They're supposed to be getting in touch with me because I got to the end of this month because they're going to renovate that, and young lady Pamela Johnson that let me use it, she's going to have it renovated to do her project up there. But to say that I didn't know was such a need, and people coming to me from the clients from across the street where the homeless people be, they come in there getting furniture for them. They just first got their apartments. So it's a big blessing to the city. And I hope we can continue doing something like this because the owner of the furniture transporting it, he says I do a lot of hotels that's being redone and they have nowhere to store all. This hotel is doing 160 rooms. And then did about 100. And it's really been a blessing to our community. So I'm looking forward to getting some more help. Ain't about Laverne, it's about doing the work for God. He said, feed the hungry, give shelter to the poor, clothe the naked. And that's the only thing. Nobody's paying me. Nobody can't pay me. I take my own money to get people to help me unload the trucks and to bring the stuff because we get 3 or 4 truckloads of furniture at a time and it's not light. It's good furniture. It's heavy. So I appreciate for your help and that we can continue to do this for this city. It ain't about Laverne. God bless you and thank you.
Edward.
Hello. I just want to start off by saying, as far as international affairs go, I disagree with the way our country is going in the direction our country is going with the recent attack in Iran. It puts us all in grave danger. And I just want to encourage members of Congress and all members everywhere, representatives everywhere to just stay steadfast and strong against this administration and fight back, hard as hell wherever you can, whenever you can. And on to Jersey City, Stephen Fulop, I mean, I'm not telling you all anything, but he left this city in a mess. He left us in a mess. And I just want to say that I thought it was brave of you, Mr. Jake, to sponsor or co-sponsor a resolution that, you were just trying to look for pay increases for workers here and at, the city hall here. And it's just hard to live here. The cost of living is hard. And so I remember when Councilman Gilmore was talking about police officers, new police officers that are hired, they too find it hard, even from 2-family homes, to afford to live here. So how can you expect any one person to do their job and do it without the stress and the trauma of not even being able to afford where they live? That's ridiculous. So it's on you. Your job is even harder. Stop building housing that's going to be unaffordable for us. Like this last, you talked about it at the council meeting, 175, 178 Stegman Avenue or Martin Luther King Avenue on the corner of Stegman Street, 40 units, 10 affordable, 15 parking spaces. That's not good enough. You're killing us with the parking. You keep developing, we don't have enough parking. Okay, this isn't the Phillip administration anymore. This is the who administration? Okay. So no parking again and 10 affordable housing. I mean, this is what I want to tell you. On Stegman Street and Martin Luther King, that's the Black and brown side of town, and we do not earn on average. Okay, so you should just block any new development coming into an area where poverty is that disproportionately represented. There should be no new housing opportunities where rent is maybe say over $1,000, because who can actually afford that? You will, as a political person trying to represent us, I believe, receive the support of the wider community, because it's what we desperately need. It's what we desperately need. Justice for Drew, justice for Drew, justice for Drew, justice for Drew. Thank you.
Tina Knowles.
Hi. Justice for Drew. Yes, my name is Tina. Yes, I do work for Education at Gilmore, but I'm speaking upon myself. I have been doing nonprofits for years. Yes, my nonprofit is for the community as clothes and everything else for the community. Also, me just been doing my own nonprofit as me working for Education at Gilmore and Jerry, my thing went over. I guess people trust me so much that they've been giving other people my number. So I like to share some information for housing. I put up a paper online to help people. I end up getting 81.K people viewing it. 1,000 people reached out to me about questions, wanted to know how can they get help about housing. Thank God my bosses listened to me. I brought the information back because I realized it was just too much for me for getting phone calls from 1 or 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning about housing. We realized that we needed to bring housing out so they would be able to ask questions and find out how they would be able to get help. I realized that the people are so confused and overwhelmed because we know that the leaders had fell us through the cracks and not helping us like the way they're supposed to have been helping us. I'm learning that the nonprofits from the community are the ones who stepping in, like me, as filling in the gap, as helping out the community. But I realized by me looking at this, every time I say nonprofits, I see a couple of y'all did reach out to me for help, and I appreciate that because that's what it's about. I'm asking my city to invest into all nonprofits from the grounds up. Not only that, I'm asking y'all to give funds to nonprofits. I'm asking y'all to partnership with nonprofits because again, we are the ones who's out there doing the work. I also want to thank Jerry Walker, the assemblyman. He realized I didn't have a car while I'm doing outreach for Jersey City. It bothered me because people call me looking for the flyers, looking for the information. So he went out and got a vehicle for outreach because that's what I've been doing, outreach. You would think that they would support that, but I guess that we have to be on our own ground. We have to come together ourselves to make sure that we can continue to make sure that the community is able to grow and do the right thing. We already see that we have been the ones who've been helping out the most of nonprofits. I'm going to give y'all this paper because my phone rings every day for people helping out. And I believe, again, as me keep coming and coming and coming and coming to these meetings, y'all going to help out nonprofits. I shouldn't have to keep asking y'all to help out. I know some of y'all other nonprofits are getting help and able to do the work, but the ones who's doing the most work is the ones who's not getting help. So I'm going to ask y'all again to continue to find out which nonprofits are doing the work. Thank you.
Gina Davison.
Gina Davison, Ward B. I know that y'all are very tired, but the apathy, I already see it setting in. Because my friend was just up here telling you about the hard work she's been doing on behalf of this city, for the people of this city, and some of you didn't even look up from your phones. So again, remember I told you at the very beginning of your tenure here to be careful, that the last council is a cautionary tale. Justice for Drew. Justice for Drew. You're going to hear from some of our cat rescue community again tonight. We are at a critical time right now. We lost a huge amount of our citywide progress during the pandemic. TNR took about 3 years, trap, neuter, return, cat rescue work took about 3 years to get back into full swing. We are in high kitten season, it's spring. And just as with social workers who work with humans, we are working with animals and humans, there's burnout. This was a winter, the second winter that we had to trap all throughout the winter. And there was no breaks. So on behalf of the people, the amazing people who are doing work every single day for the city, not getting paid, sometimes paying their own money to fund the work, I want to thank you guys for the beginnings of the support that we're seeing from you. I especially want to thank Mr. Frank Gilmore for hosting a meeting for us on Saturday, April 4th. We got to speak with him specifically about the problems of animal rescue in Ward F. I know a lot of you are poised to help us, and we are finalizing our concrete asks, which we will send to the entire council. Our conversations and your feedback has helped us understand where some of you will fit in our fight for animal welfare in Jersey City. And so speaking of animal welfare in Jersey City, I do want to end by condemning the wanton destruction of one of our only remaining natural spaces in Jersey City, our pride and joy, Liberty State Park, which is currently being raped. The clear cutting was bad enough. It was a violation. But just as abhorrent was the DEP, who's supposed to be protecting our wildlife, apparently fencing in the deer that were left homeless and then corralling them and shooting them to death and dragging their bodies out of the park. The amount of harm this is doing to our ecology and our humanity is shameful.
Okay, 5.5, Yvonne.
Yes, Yvonne Bolser. I just want to make a comment that the cities of Newark and Patterson are not begging the state, Trenton, for $150 million. It's a big difference. But I want to turn to what I spoke about 2 weeks ago, which is the bike lanes. I contacted the state on our bike lanes, and apparently it depends upon how you live. We have paved streets and we have curbs. The state wants our bike lanes to be 5 feet. So, hey, some people go around, checking these things. And a lot of our bike lanes are not 5 feet. So I kind of think a lot of our bike lanes happen similar to what happened at Bergen Avenue, which the city pushed it. And then all of a sudden there was a resolution, an ordinance to make it legal, like closing down Newark Avenue, which happened by the mayor. And then later on, after I complained, we had an ordinance to close Newark Avenue. So I don't know how many of these bike lanes are really legal in terms of having it voted on by you or the city council then, and then having a discussion and then having a bike lane, because this is ridiculous. The reason why I bring this up, because I saw an ambulance coming down the street and it's crawling along because of the bike lanes, especially along Newark Avenue. I mean, you can't, and we only have one hospital now, but you don't care about our health being in danger because that lobby called the bike lane is all you really care about. So I'm going to personally request an Oprah to find out what was said by our police department in terms of their response to emergencies. Because I don't think it is right that people have to worry, will it take a half an hour? Let's say you're coming from the Heights or a half an hour from Wayside Avenue to go to the only hospital we have in Jersey City now. Because what we all care about is not upsetting this bike lobby, in which I think many of these bike lanes are probably illegal. And I passed by Dickinson High School. That doesn't even look like it's 3 feet wide. It's right in front of a school. So we put them in there because we're afraid to speak up to people who don't believe people should have cars. They live in another time frame. Well, we do have cars because we have children we raise, we have parents who are older we must bring to doctors, and our life does not evolve around putting on a bike. And there's nothing wrong with bikes. There really is nothing wrong with it. But, we went from really cars, and we want to keep them. We're not back in the horse and buggy days. And I think it's fine. None of my doctors are close by, really, that I can go to my dentist in Elizabeth on a bike. Thank you very much.
Next, Charlene.
Good evening, Council. Charlene Burke, Ward B, Vice President of the Jersey City Parks Coalition. I'm here to ask for your support, which I'm sure all of you will give to those resolutions that are supporting grants for the Hudson County Open Space. It's resolutions 26-180 to 184. I just want to speak about parks. It's the month of April. Earth Day is this month. In fact, it's your very next council meeting on the 22nd. But parks are really important. And given the fact that so much of our development is now multifamily and the density has increased, so even in R1 sections of the city, you're allowed now to put ADUs in the backyard. The backyard and open space is diminishing every single time a new building is built. And parks are really important and gaining in importance in a city that has no green space, personal green space like backyards used to be, even large front yards for that matter. Back in November of last year, there was a ordinance by the last city council that was going to reallocate monies, capital funds from bonds. 22 million of that was for park projects. That honestly, the Parks Coalition, in conversations with the city, they kept saying there was no money for these park projects. Well, it turned out that wasn't true. And these park projects need to be done. Gazebos in Van Voorst and Hamilton Park need attention. There are other parks that need attention, like Riverview needs more trees, even Pershing Field, Boyd McGinnis over by me. There are many things that need attention, and I really ask all of you in your tenure as council people to pay attention to the parks in your ward, because I know we're in a hole at the moment, yes, but this money was already set aside and bonded for in the past. So if it can be looked at and then activated into doing the right thing for the parks it was actually bonded for, while you're here, please work with the Parks Coalition to get that done, because we need our open space to be healthy and engaging and safe for everyone. Thank you.
5.7, Philip.
City Council President Ridley, members of the City Council, I'm Philip Carrington. Looking back in retrospect to March, I raised the issue of very concern of inconsistency. I say inconsistency based on race can be construed as racism. I say someone called someone in City Hall and asked about my place at 453 Martin Luther King. That place is zoned as a community facility. I ran a daycare center of that place for 30 some odd years with a certificate of occupancy. The only response they got is that the place got violations. That's the one thing that was matter. Comparatively speaking to a white establishment, I started here. This building, as I said then, and I say now, always had violations. Well, first, all new buildings, you can find about 5 new violations. All old buildings, you can find about 10 violations. That is just the norm. So anyway, however, this building, as I said, always have violations. And I said that in 1990, they spent $1 million fixing the roof. Today, the roof is still leaking the same place. So if violations are someplace wrong for you to assemble, everybody needs to get out of here. But you see, that statement is only rate or lift up when they speak about Black people or Black business or Black establishment. White establishment, they never get examined. I also mentioned that in the Newport Mall, in its inception in the late 1980s and the 1990s and the beginning of this century, the smoke detectors and the alarm system and the fire alarm system never work. But again, if you call about, that's the white establishment. If you call about that, you will not highlight or scare people off, highlighting the violation that is there. You will tell them it's a mall, go to the website, et cetera, et cetera. See, that's inconsistency. I've been on to say that the Mary McLeod Bethune Center was zoned as a community facility, just like my place. And the same thing there. I was the first tenant in there in 2013, 2016. The heat suppression system, the smoke detectors, and the alarm system never worked. I had babies in that place. It never worked. Again, no one raised the issue of the violation. See, it's a white establishment compared to a Black establishment. It got even worse. 127, that's 133, and that's my main point. I was leasing that building to purchase. When I was there, I got violations all over the place. I still have a copy, didn't even see a copy there. And an order to vacate without a certificate of occupancy. The white Jews are in there today. When they were operating, same thing. Nothing happens. 0 summons, 0 fees, and they're still there. But what is even worse? Last Friday, 2 Fridays ago, they called the police. Not the police went to shut them down as they did to me. They called the police and ordered the police to watch them as they violate the law. We had 2 police, paid police free to watch the white Jews as they commit crime. That's inconsistency based on race. Rest my case.
5.8, Ryan. Anyone, Ryan, 5.8? No? Okay. 5.9, Danielle.
Good evening, Danielle D'Adamo, lifelong Ward C resident and community activist. I'm here tonight to speak in opposition to a resolution on the docket tonight authorizing a fireworks display, not because I don't like celebration, but because I'm asking this council to start looking at quality of life in a holistic and consistent way. Because right now that consistency is missing. Fireworks are not just entertainment, they come with real impacts. Loud, explosive noise that affects young children, trauma triggers for residents with PTSD, stress on pets and wildlife, and disruptions for working families who rely on stability. And yet these permits continue to move forward as if they exist in a vacuum, but they don't. But at the very same time, we are approving things like this. Residents are dealing with very real, everyday safety concerns. Yesterday, a pedestrian was hit by a driver making a left turn from Franklin onto Palisade. Thankfully, the injuries were not life-threatening, but let's be honest, they could have easily gone another way. We already know left turns are one of the leading causes of fatal pedestrian crashes. And what that moment highlights is this: traffic enforcement is needed now more than ever not just plans, not just future redesigns, but real, visible enforcement that protects people today. Because when residents look around, they are seeing dangerous driving, pedestrians at risk, and enforcement that feels inconsistent or absent. And then layered on top of that, fireworks permits, more dispensaries, more smoke shops, all approved one by one without stepping back and asking what the cumulative impact is on our neighborhoods. And that brings me to something else we've been talking about in this city, zoning, and what's happening with places like the Hive. What that situation showed us is that our systems can be very strict and very reactive in some cases, especially when it comes to small businesses. But in other cases, we move forward with approvals without the same level of scrutiny about long-term impact. So which is it? Are we being thoughtful and consistent, or are we being selective? Because right now it feels inconsistent and residents feel that. Individually, each approval may seem reasonable, but collectively it becomes oversaturation and a real quality of life issue in concern with dispensaries and smoke shops. So I'm asking this council to consider three things. First, reconsider this fireworks permit through a true quality of life lens. Second, continue to prioritize traffic enforcement and pedestrian safety immediately. And third, implement a moratorium on new dispensaries and smoke shops until there is a clear enforceable plan in place, including caps and distance requirements from schools and daycare centers. It's about what we choose to prioritize. And right now, our residents deserve safety, consistency, and thoughtful planning. Thank you.
5.10, Elsa? No, not here?
It's not here.
Okay, we'll move to 5.11, Sophia.
No.
Yeah, you're here? No? Okay. Mary, 5.12.
No, that's
Mary.
none of them are here.
Darlene.
It's here.
I had a lot of young speakers here that were naturals, so bear with me. My name is Darlene Mazer, and I live in Ward F. And what I wanted to talk about was the TNR funding for Jersey City. I inherited the care of two old feral cats, Napoleon and Josephine, after someone who had been feeding them moved out of the country. They are a devoted, bonded pair. From neighborhood history, I know that they are at least 16 years old. Napoleon was hit by a car at a young age, and as a result, his spine is crooked and bent, but he's still a brave and ferocious general. I have so much respect for that cat. And the plight of these animals can be extreme hardship. This past winter, can you imagine what it's like to be old with arthritis and live through the winter like the past one, where we had almost 3 weeks of temperatures that never got above freezing, along with that never-ending mountainous snow? I'm bringing them up because while I buy their food and give them the best care possible, someone before me cared to do the TNR, the trap, neuter, and release. They both have their little ears tipped, so you can tell. This kind action prevented them from having kittens for the past 16 years that would have contributed to the problem. I salute the person or group that did that. Recently, there was a young intact male that I attempted to trap unsuccessfully. He was wary and he never entered the trap, even though it had a yummy dish of tuna and it was obvious he was hungry. However, throughout the day, as I checked the trap and hoped that I would catch him, the following thoughts kept coming to mind. How will I get an appointment if I can get one? And how soon can I get one? Where will I hold him and for how long will I need to hold him? How much is this going to cost? And how do I get him there as I work full time? These are all hurdles for people that want to volunteer in a tough situation, yet kind people are taking this on themselves daily and on their own dime. While I have not been actively doing trap, neuter, and rescue, I do support this community with transport, food, supplies, vet costs, and donations in the hundreds of dollars. What I've learned is that it comes down to a small handful of the same people trying to support this community with little to zero resources. There must be thousands and thousands of feral cats in Jersey City. The city needs to bear the cost of this funding. It should not be spread across a small pool of individuals because they're caring and have big hearts. I would like my tax dollars, some of them to be used to support these people and the animals they help to thrive or alleviate their suffering. I ask that the shelter be fully funded to cover the vet expenses associated with TNR along with food pantry. Additionally, to restore the funding for low-cost spay and neuter and TNR, including TNR rescues that existed in 2024.
I'm sorry, Darlene, your time is up.
Okay, thank you very much.
Council President, may I? I just want to say to the folks that are here from the animal welfare community, I saw that the mayor is going to appoint Linda Ivory Green as the Department of Health Director. And I'm looking forward to talking to her about her plans for animal welfare. I've spoken to folks from Perfect JC and Feral Fixers, and I appreciate the policy briefing, what the needs of the community is. And yes, we are in a budget hole, but I would like to work with the administration to find a low-cost way to help the community. So thank you.
5.14, Susan.
I'll wait for the next.
Hi, I'm Susan Nolan, Ward A. First, I wanted to thank those of you who are at No Kings alongside the residents. I really appreciated seeing you there. Second, thank you, Council President Ridley, for meeting with Lafayette community yesterday and for delaying the resident parking. We look forward to community discussions. Third, thank you, Councilman Gilmore, for meeting with the CAT people, as Gina mentioned. I wanted just to say that I'm here, among other things, to argue for more funding of TNR, trap, neuter, return, as you've been hearing from my colleagues. I also want to emphasize the crazy number of friendlies, cats who've been dumped, and that usually occurs when people can't get vet care for them. And it's really out of control right now. I volunteer with a Perfect JC, and we've had more friendlies than ever. And we really need some kind of low-cost spay neuter and low-cost vet care for our residents. You shouldn't have to be wealthy to have a pet. And I mentioned this last time I spoke. Underfoot is an excellent podcast about what Flatbush Cats did with various partnerships. It's not an exact model for JC, but it's an excellent model of how to be creative and actually move the needle. And finally, I want to express my outrage at what happened in Liberty State Park. Very secretly, none of us knew about. I walk in the park almost every day. None of us knew that this was happening. I know that the park workers weren't informed. A lot of people in JC weren't informed. It's an outrage that there was no discussion of any possibly more humane way to deal with the problem of the deer. We didn't hear from wildlife biologists. There were no community discussions. It really is an outrage. I know not all of you knew, but it's something that, given that the park is ours, really, it's not just ours, but it's right here. We should have had some kind of community discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you. 5.15, Tom? No? Okay. 5.16, Denise?
Sorry, can I ask a quick question? Because this is the first I'm hearing of this incident in Liberty State Park. This kind of intergovernmental operation where the DEP is conducting something in Liberty State Park, does that kind of action usually require one of the petitions or communications that would appear on our agenda, some kind of notice to the city that such an undertaking is going to go? I mean, a number of animals are going to get killed in the middle of the park.
I would defer to Corporation Council. There's a legal requirement, but obviously we always appreciate and encourage them to let us know anytime they do anything within the city or adjacent to the city.
Okay.
And any legal requirement.
Okay. Yeah, that would be helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, and I just want to say for the record that we were not notified. We did not receive any communication. The council didn't receive it, and I don't want to speak for the administration, but I don't believe they've received anything either. So,
to my knowledge, we did not.
Okay. Is Denise here? Okay.
Evening, my name is Denise Devlin, and I live in Ward F, where I care for the community cats. The need for animal care and control services in our city is growing as longtime residents struggle to keep up with escalating costs. As costs increase, including pet food and veterinary care, more and more people are forced to surrender or abandon their pets. It also impacts those that care for the abandoned animals. I have seen the number of feral and abandoned cats explode in my neighborhood. In just a few months, I've gone from feeding 5 to 10 feral cats outside of my house every day. Like many of my neighbors who also feed and provide shelters, I pay for the food myself. Jersey City residents desperately need access to low-cost spay and neutering, as well as basic veterinary services in order to keep their pets. This would prevent further strain on the city's animal care and control system, as well as the animal rescue operations and volunteers that are already stretched to the limit. My experience with Jersey City Shelter and Control have been very positive. They have quickly responded to my calls to rescue wounded wildlife or to pick up dogs who were abandoned by their owners. But severe budget constraints have prevented animal control from providing services that are critical to both managing and to curbing the number of abandoned pets and feral animals. Providing affordable spay and neuter, as well as basic vaccinations and medical care for pets, is necessary to reduce the number of stray animals in our communities. Fortunately, we have local organizations that have taken it upon themselves to tackle the problem, but keep in mind that these are groups run by volunteers who also have full-time jobs. I have trapped cats for TNR and will continue to do so, but it's pointless without the low-cost neutering. Too often, the ACC doesn't have the needed resources to make the work of TNR groups and volunteers effective. Obviously, without neutering, cats breed and the problem grows exponentially. It is essential to increase the availability of low-cost neutering for both rescue organizations and residents. And I appreciate that there are many important services that the city provides, but the work of animal control is equally critical to our quality of life. Animal welfare is not an expendable city service. While we should apply for all appropriate grants, it doesn't replace ongoing, dependable city funding. Animal control is less than 1% of our city budget. This small department is overwhelmed and underfunded. For a relatively low cost, the city can greatly improve the lives of Jersey City residents, both human and animal. I urge the council to fully fund and expand essential animal welfare services. While we appreciate your moral support, we are here today asking for appropriate funding, and only then can we tackle the crisis. Thank you.
Thank you.
Denise, can I ask a question? What is the average cost for neuter or spay and also for vaccination? Do you have that? Do you know that or?
In my experience, going to a standard veterinary practice, the vaccinations and the neutering is probably going to be at least $300, $400 or more, depending on where you go. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, $650 for vax. What about spay or neuter?
That's
That was
together.
together.
Oh, it's all together.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a package. No, that's not affordable for no one.
Okay, next one, Amanda.
Okay. 517, Ashley?
No.
No? Okay. 518, Jenny?
No.
No. Okay. 519, Camille?
Nope.
5.20, Janie? 5.21, Stephanie? 5.22, Rochelle?
She's not here.
She's here.
She's here? Oh, she's right there with the hat. I ain't see the hat. I couldn't, the hat is that hat. I'm sorry, young lady.
Not. Hello, council. Can I give copies to each council member? I do have.
Her time now.
My time is ticking.
Oh, look at.
Thank you. Good evening, City Council, Council President Denise Ridley. My name is Rochelle Hoffman, and I speak to you today representing We Care Movement, an organization dedicated to community and public health, youth safety, and equity across our neighborhoods. I come before you in support of Senate Bill S3761, a common sense public health policy that strengthens alcohol warning signage throughout the state. But I'm not here to talk about theory. I'm here to talk about what we see every day right here in our own community along MLK Drive in Jersey City. On this one corridor along the stretch where families, children, elders walk, pray, and learn, there are multiple liquor stores within a very short distance. For example, Larry's Liquors at 29 MLK, just less than 2 blocks away from houses and community services. Metro Liquors at 69 MLK Drive. J&R Liquor Store at 217 MLK Drive. Ray's Liquor at 266 MLK Drive. Again, just steps away from homes and community hubs. Fulton Liquors at 165 MLK Drive. MLK Liquor at 455. And this is just 5. There's a total of 9. We did the research. That's 5 liquor stores within less than a mile, clustered near schools, churches, parks, and family homes where children walk and play. This is not a coincidence. It's a pattern over concentration of liquor access in a corridor heavily populated with vulnerable residents and institutions. This constant exposure matters. Studies show that communities with high concentrations of liquor stores experience higher rates of alcohol-related health issues, violence, DUIs, DWIs, and chronic diseases. And yet, the current warning signs do not fully reflect the well-documented harms associated with alcohol use, including cancer risk, addictions, and long-term health impacts. Senate Bill S3761 would change that, requiring more accurate, more visible warning about those risks so consumers can make informed decisions. We Care Movement we know in time for Jersey City to become the first municipality in New Jersey to endorse and advocate for enhanced alcohol warning signage so we can be the first in the state to have the mark and set the mark for other municipalities. We know economic access is important, but access without transparency is not fairness. It's neglect. So tonight, I urge the City Council, endorse this Senate bill, support enhance the alcohol warning signage regarding the public health safety of our residents. Champion Jersey City as the model for responsible public health policy and stand with residents who deserve equitable protection, honest information, and healthier communities. We care, and together we can. I thank you.
.23, Kevin.
Kevin's not, oh, Kevin.
Hello. I'm Kevin Weller from the forever rent-controlled Portside Towers East in Councilman Gilmore's Ward F. Today is an anniversary. 1 year ago today, on April 8th, 2025, your then acting corporation counsel, Brittany Murray, sat right over here and told us that if we wanted the city to enforce daily penalties for the violations at our buildings, we needed to report them every day. It was a year ago. So we did. 8 violations, 2 buildings, 16 reports every single day. Happy anniversary. I do wish we had something more to show for it, though. But here's what today actually means. Under state law, municipal penalty actions must be commenced within 1 year. Today, the fines from April 8th, 2025 become permanently uncollectible. Tomorrow, April 9th's fines expire. The day after that, April 10th. 1 day of fines disappearing every 24 hours from now on. Not because a judge ruled against these various violations, not because of litigation, because just following orders, because of a vote, because of faith. We put our faith in you. 2 weeks ago, 7 of you voted to reappoint the director whose department oversaw 902 days of zero rent adjustments, zero refunds, and zero fines collected. Many of you said you were not a rubber stamp and that you were placing your faith in the administration. Since that vote, 14 days have passed. Under Mayor Solomon's executive order directing maximum penalties, that's $132 million in fines that went uncollected while we waited for faith to produce results. By the next council meeting, it'll be $265 million. I'm here because my neighbors are losing their homes. Just told you 2 weeks ago that from the original families on our floor who filed in 2022, only she and I are left. The last 2 moved out 1 week before your vote. They couldn't wait for faith. So I have a question. Since your vote, has a single rent been adjusted citywide? A single refund ordered? Has a single housing fine been collected citywide? In 5 days, your special investigatory committee meets. Councilman Lavarro and Councilman Gilmore, thank you for voting based on the evidence. For everyone else, the evidence isn't going away, but the fines sure are.
Yes, I have a question. I'm sorry.
Erin?
Sorry, just a question for the BA's office. Peter, I had asked for a report from Director Richardson on the status of all the fines. Do you have a copy of that? I asked for it a couple of weeks ago.
I do not have a copy yet, but I believe there's the public meeting that's on Monday. I know he was given other questions to answer there, so I'm sure he'll be able to answer some of them if he doesn't have it by then.
Okay, I just asked that it be submitted to the entire council in advance of that meeting because I don't know if I'll be attending, but I do want this council to have it since this group comes to this meeting.
Also, Peter, quick question. And I just want to make sure I'm understanding this right. So when we issue a violation, in the violation code, we have the opportunity to, I guess, penalize an entity daily. So if you issue a violation on January 30th, and they go to court on March 14th, do we have to constantly keep writing issues? Because we know on January 31st, we witnessed something took place subsequently on the 31st, and we went there again. We still notice it haven't been rectified. So I guess my question is, do we have to keep going out to issue tickets every single day when it's clear evidence, whatever that problem was never rectified, if that makes sense?
I would have to defer to legal for that one, Councilman.
Depends on the type of violation you're talking about and what the burden of proof or the standard for prosecution in court would be. There are definitely some instances where when there is a self-evident violation, you can shift the burden to the landlord to show that they have abated the issue. And you don't need to prove that the issue has persisted every day up until it is abated, but it depends on the type of code issue.
Okay, so in some instance, we can see that when we went back on the 31st, it wasn't done. So we have the ability to, I guess, hold them to the violations during that whole duration.
Ultimately, it would be the judgment call for the prosecutor of if they think they have enough evidence to prosecute for that particular violation. It is not the case that every single code violation would require a ticket in every single instance. That's my understanding. Ultimately, this is all within the purview of the municipal prosecutor. The current acting municipal prosecutor has made clear that he is very happy to cooperate with the Special Investigation Committee. Given that currently there are 4 prosecutors covering 6 courtrooms full-time, the only thing he asks is a little bit of advance notice for when you want him to show up to a meeting, but he can speak much more competently to questions of what happens in municipal court than I can.
Okay.
Erin?
All right. Good evening, council members. This is actually my first meeting with the new council, except for Frank, I know you, and Denise, so it's very nice to meet you all. My name is Erin Kent. I'm a resident of Portside Towers, and I'm here to talk about safety, or more accurately, the complete absence of it. Chapter 218, Section 1 could not be more clear. Every building with 100 or more units must provide a minimum of 1 uniformed security guard per residential building, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That guard must be a licensed New Jersey security guard in identifiable uniform. Their contact information must be posted conspicuously inside the building. Portside has over 200 units in each building, and we have 0 uniformed security guards. Let me tell you what the absence of security looks like. A bullet fired through a teenager's bedroom window. Unauthorized people in our hallways at all hours. Residents afraid to walk to their cars in our parking garage. Families with children who don't feel safe in their own homes. Meanwhile, the non-compliant landlords of Jersey City pocket the savings of not paying for the security our laws demand. Every day without a guard is another day landlords profit from non-enforcement. The ordinance doesn't say security is optional. It doesn't say when convenient. It says shall furnish. That is mandatory language. Please enforce it. Fine landlords for every day of non-compliance. Help close the city's budget deficit. Our safety is not negotiable. Thank you.
Daniel?
Good evening, council members. I want to start by briefly following up on my remarks from last city council meeting. On March 25th, I spoke about ordinance 07-153 and the requirement that the vehicular access lane adjacent to the Korean War Memorial be closed and chained between 8 p.m. and 8 a.m. each night. I also discussed the enforcement provisions under section 125 of the Jersey City Code of Ordinances and the ongoing nature of these violations. I also discussed this issue at the city council meetings on February 11th, February 25th, and March 11th. Now, following the last city council meeting on March 25th, Althea Bernheim came up to me directly and has been extremely helpful since then in working to move this issue forward. I wanted to take a moment to thank her publicly for that. I really appreciate her engagement and willingness to help ensure this issue is being addressed. Since then, the city has been actively reviewing the situation, and the easement deed tied to ordinance 07-153 has now been identified and is being evaluated. And I think that's an important step in the right direction. That said, I do want to briefly reground us in what the ordinance requires. Under section 7E of ordinance 07-153, the vehicular access lane adjacent to the Korean War Memorial is required to be closed and chained between 8 p.m. and 8 a.m. each night. That language is not discretionary. It is a condition of the easement accepted by the city. And despite that, the access lane has remained open overnight on a consistent basis. So while I am encouraged by the progress being made, I want to emphasize that this is not a new issue and it is not an unclear one. The requirement exists. It is documented and it has yet to be followed. This memorial stands as a tribute to the service and sacrifice of those who fought in the Korean War, including those who never returned home. Ensuring that it is properly secured in accordance with the ordinance is, in my view, a matter of both legal compliance and basic respect. I'm hopeful that with the current momentum, the city can take the final steps needed to ensure that ordinance 07-153 is enforced as written. Thank you again for your time and for your continued work. Thank you.
Deepa?
Good evening. To reiterate what my neighbors have just said,
in the last two speeches. In 2007, this council passed Ordinance 07153, vacating a portion of Washington Street and creating the Korean War Memorial Park. The ordinance included specific conditions. Section 7, subsection E, states the vehicular access lane shall be closed and chained between 8 p.m. and 8 a.m. each day by both side security personnel. Excuse me. But both side has no uniform security, which means the Korean War Memorial is not being closed and chained at night as your own ordinance requires. Cars are still parking there at night. This is unguarded and vulnerable. Now, this is what happens when one violation cascades into another. The failure to enforce Chapter 218 security requirement doesn't just endanger tenants, it leaves a war memorial unprotected. The city created a legal obligation that requires security to exist and then looked the other way when the security was never provided. Council members, our veterans deserve better than this. Respect to them and all the tenants. Enforce Chapter 218 and Ordinance 07153. And just one last thing, I did notice Councilwoman Mamta Singh walked away. I don't know if it's a coincidence, even the last time when our group was reading through our speeches. So just something to note.
Jessica?
Good evening, Council. I've been coming to these meetings, although you haven't always been here, for 3.5 years. And most of that time, I've talked about my experience at my building. But tonight, I want to talk about everyone else in Jersey City. So we know there are roughly 270,000 people in Jersey City, and about 70% of them rent. That's close to 190,000 people whose housing is governed by the same ordinances we've been asking you to enforce at our building. Chapter 260, Chapter 254, Chapter 218, the same registration requirements, the same superintendent rules, the same disclosure obligations, the same penalty provisions. We know what happens when those laws aren't enforced because we've spent nearly a year documenting it. But what about the buildings that don't have tenants sending daily reports? What about the buildings where tenants don't know their rights, don't speak English, don't have 3 years to spend at a podium? What about the landlord who watched what happened at our building and decided to try the same thing? That's why the special investigation committee that you formed and are having your second meeting on Monday matters so much. Your mandate isn't to resolve our complaints, it's to investigate why enforcement fails. And the answer to that question doesn't live in one building or with one group of tenants. It lives in the systems, the staffing, the culture, and the choices that determine whether the laws this council passes actually reach the people they're written for. So I want to speak directly to the committee members, and I want to start by saying thank you. Committee has met. For people who have been coming here for years, that is not a small thing. It signals that this council is willing to do something more challenging than passing a law. You were willing to ask why the laws we have aren't working. That takes courage. And on Monday, you hold your second meeting. Your interim report is due in 34 days. You have subpoena power, public hearing authority, and anti-retaliation protections no previous committee had. And as you prepare, I'd ask you to think about this. For every question you ask, think about how you ask it. Not just why weren't these violations enforced, but what is the process for enforcing any violation and where does it break? Not just why aren't fines collected, but how many fines have been collected citywide in the last 5 years? And if you ask those questions, your report won't just help the 527 families in my buildings. It will tell 190,000 tenants across Jersey City whether the laws on the books are the laws that are working. That is genuine legacy, the kind that outlasts any one council term. We'll be at your meeting on Monday. I think you know that. Not just for ourselves, but for every building. Thank you.
Brendan?
Good evening. My name is Brendan, and I'm a tenant at Portside Towers. No, that has not changed in the last 3 years. When I moved into Portside, I expected the rules to be followed. Okay, let's be honest. I moved to Jersey City. I expected some of the rules to be followed. But because rules create safety, they create structure. We can build our lives around the rules. But in Jersey City, the rules are still not being followed. There is no uniform security guard, even though the law requires them. There is no superintendent information posted. I put a ticket in to try and get my washing machine fixed, and it took 7 days for someone to check to see if it was working or not. This is what there's no systems. There's no one to call if something's broken. You've got to just hope and pray you find someone. I'm asking for that every tenant is legally entitled to a building that follows the city's code and a city that enforces the laws it approved. When there's no security, nobody feels safe. When there's no superintendent, you can't resolve problems. When a utility bill arrives with no explanation that you can't make sense of, we have to guess and pay it or we can get evicted. When the systems are broken and nobody fixes them, it doesn't frustrate, it distables us, it makes things harder. It makes us harder for actually to be productive and function in the city we like. But council members, the rules do matter. They matter to every tenant, every person in this city. I would also like to thank the woman earlier this evening for talking about the bike lanes being too narrow. I completely agree. Let's widen them out, make sure every single bike lane is 5 feet, so that way we have proper transit. People can move around the city because not everyone is an old retired person with too much time on their hands. As for handling these ambulances, I've got this crazy idea. We put both bike lanes together on one side. That is 10 feet. Jersey City ambulances aren't 9 feet wide. That is enough space, and it is faster for people on a bicycle to get out of an ambulance's way than for multiple cars, because guess what? There's limited space as to where cars can go. You can move a bicycle with the same amount of effort as the guys who park in behind the Korean War Memorial uses to move the fence. That's a hunk of aluminum that you can actually lift one-handed while biking. I was curious one night. Thank you.
Barbara?
Good evening, City Council. Since the problems that Portside tenants have been asking you for help with for more than 3 years still haven't been fixed, tonight's speech is, as promised, recycled from my huge stack of unanswered pleas for your help. This one is from November of 2024. Here we go. Good evening, City Council. It's been a long day. I'm tired, and I want to keep it short and simple tonight when I remind you that under NJSA 4069A-36, this council has both the power and duty to investigate systemic failures in ordinance enforcement. The law explicitly states that you may investigate systemic non-enforcement, review administrative decisions, examine compliance processes, investigate public safety impacts. These aren't just options. They're core responsibilities under the Faulkner Act. When systemic non-enforcement creates public safety risks, this council has a duty to act. Why does it matter? Because enforcement failures don't just violate individual ordinances. They undermine the entire system of protections this council has established. We urge you to exercise your statutory authority and investigate these systemic failures. The tools exist. The authority exists. The duty exists. Thank you.
Michelle?
Good evening, City Council. I am a tenant of Portside Towers, and I believe all of you know that I'm a flight attendant. And I want to talk about something that could cost people their lives. Chapter 254 requires that in buildings with 6 or more units, the superintendent must reside in the building and on the premises. Their name, address, and phone number must be made known to all tenants. Chapter 260 goes further. The rental statement must identify the superintendent and provide a 24-hour emergency number. And landlords must be in full compliance with all these disclosures and to qualify for any of that rental increase. At Portside, we don't know who our superintendents are. There's no tenant disclosures, no posted phone number or apartment number. During emergencies, our calls are routed to a remote call center, reportedly overseas. The very ordinance designed to prevent this danger is being violated. Weeks ago, the city's own prosecutor told the judge that our landlord has complied. That is false. Notifying housing preservation is not the same as disclosing to the tenants. The ordinance requires disclosure to all of us, with it posted visibly and provided directly, and neither has happened. Council members, please require the information to be posted and provided to every tenant. And more importantly, please investigate why the city's own prosecutor misrepresented the compliance to a judge. People's lives depend on it. Thank you so much.
Manchu?
Hello, good evening. I'm a tenant at Portside Towers. Every month, along with my rent, I receive a bill for a company called Concierge Service for water, sewer, and garbage. The charges fluctuate a lot, and I have no idea how it's calculated. That's because my landlord uses something called RUBS, which is a ratio utility billing system. The problem is we have never seen the master bill. We don't know whether common areas, vacant units, or building operations are being charged to us. Further, Conservice adds in fees, so we are paying a fee to pay our bill. Bottom line, we are being billed in the dark. The national consumer laws call RUBS opaque and warns it and enables abusive billing practices. They are right. Without transparency, RUBS becomes like a profit center for landlords, not a fair allocation of costs. Other cities have figured this out: San Jose, Mountain View, West Hollywood, Connecticut, Minnesota, Colorado. Los Angeles just completed recommendations for a citywide RUBS ordinance. In Jersey City, well, we are all hopeful that a stronger tenant protections will be considered. After price fixing was shut down, we know landlords are actively creating new ways to squeeze tenants for money. Tenants deserve to know what they are paying for. It's basic fairness. Thank you for your attention to RUBS and to this matter. Thank you.
Just a quick update. We've been working on RUBS legislation in part with one of the Portside tenants who I don't see here tonight, Mark, and Corporation Counsel, who has a lot of governance to review, is reviewing that legislation. Again, as I spoke about, I think last session, it appears that we would be preempted by state law if we tried to do something like outright ban RUBS locally at the municipal level. But what we can do is a first step, at least, of having transparency in the billing. So this is what we're working toward. We're going to be working with Corporation Counsel, ideally getting this very soon, but we'll stay in communication about how this moves forward. I appreciate working with Councilwoman Little's office on this as well.
Mark? No? Okay. Laura? Okay, Dan?
Evening again. I used to live at Portside Tower. I'm not there anymore. Not because I wanted to leave. I was essentially pushed out due to absurdly large rent increases. Every month, I overpaid this city's former administration sat idle. Despite my attempts to bring the property rent control status of the building to the attention of the rent leveling board at that time, my councilman, who at that time was brand new in his job and is now mayor, and even the Hoboken Reporter. I got no place because I was alone and I felt very alone in what I was trying to do. I can go into great detail about what I did, but I'm not going to do that. Just suffice to say that I made every effort that I thought a reasonable single person by himself could do. I'm here tonight because I didn't stop caring when I moved out. I've come back with something I didn't have before, a team. The tenants standing with me tonight are organized, capable, and committed. They're also very caring people who give a voice to all of the tenants and former tenants who I still speak to and are a part of the organization but live far enough away that they don't come here to participate. And also people who are afraid to speak up for a variety of reasons. We're not going away. I've been coming here for damn near close to 50 years, and I'm going to still be around until this is finished. I want to speak directly to the new members of this council. You ran on accountability. Many of you know the Portside story because of some common history here in the chamber or some other peripheral reason, but you are generally aware of what has been going on in this issue for 3.5 years. But we believed in you. We still do, the new council. But belief without action is just hope. And hope is not a strategy. Enforce Chapter 260, enforce Chapter 218 and Chapter 254, enforce Ordinance 7-153. These aren't aspirational goals. They're existing laws that the city's prior administrations chose not to enforce because it was politically convenient for them. My message is simple. It's never too late to do the right thing. The violations are documented. The tenants are organized. All that needs more of a transparent push through your political will. I was forced out of my home, but I still care about this city. And I'm standing here with tenants ready to support this council and turning things around. Let's get some good work done that will affect these folks and those who aren't here in meaningful ways. Thank you very much for your help.
Well? No, okay. David?
Good evening, Council President Ridley, members of the council. 12 days ago, a member of my family had a medical emergency in our apartment. She is fine now, thanks to the many people who came to our aid. But there were some things that I would like to share with you about that experience. Number one, as soon as we were aware that the situation was something we couldn't handle ourselves, we knew what emergency number to call, 911. And then also I contacted the tenant group chat and located one of my neighbors is a medical professional and who was able to come and stay with us until EMS arrived. And I'm very grateful for that. We're lucky that the emergency room near us has not been shut down. We're lucky that there's not a foreign military that is bombing our civilian infrastructure, so that's nice. And so she was able to go straight into the emergency room and get the care that she needed. And even though we had everything kind of break right for us, it's a terrifying and stressful experience. Now, imagine if instead of a medical emergency, we had a building emergency. like a flood or one of these many things that other people have brought to your attention that have happened at Portside. There isn't an emergency number to call. There's not a superintendent that I know how to contact. If the tenants in the building were not organized, I would have no idea what to do next. And so I want to urge you to keep pressing to make sure that every building that is required to have a superintendent on site has one, because emergencies are difficult enough without additional hoops to jump through. Thank you.
As you voted at the last council meeting, 2 of you told the public that you're not a rubber stamp council. A total of 7 of you proved that you are. You reappointed Director Cialone on what you called a leap of faith. Let's be clear about what a leap of faith is not. It is not governance. Governance is evidence and accountability. Governance is protecting the people who put you in your seats. We are the ones who've been taking leaps of faith at the direction of this council and its predecessors. Go through the municipal process. Former Councilman Saleh said, give us your leases. Corporation Counsel Brittany Murray said, submit your complaints daily. We've done it all, and not a single thing has changed. 902 days since the board ruled our rent increases were unauthorized, yet not a single adjustment, not one refund, and despite 71 guilty pleas by our landlord, not $1 in fines collected. When asked, Cialone confirmed not a single Portside tenant has received a rent adjustment. 9 years. And she could not point to one tenant she protected. We don't need another leap of faith. We need someone with the backbone to enforce the law. Director Cialone told this council, quote, I serve the person I work for and they set the policy, end quote. That's not public service. She may serve at the pleasure of the mayor, but her salary comes from our tax dollars. She serves us. The fact that she doesn't understand that and that 7 of you didn't catch that really troubles me. Council, being qualified on paper is not leadership. An employee follows orders, but a leader fights for the people she's supposed to protect. And if her hands were tied by the prior mayor, she would have said so publicly or she would have walked away. Where was her moral compass? Where was yours? Did you vote based on her record? Did you vote to protect your constituents who are the only reason you have the power to vote at all? So, despite your rhetoric, I witnessed 7 rubber stamp votes out of allegiance to the mayor and sympathy for a colleague. Councilman Gilmore and Lavaro got it right when they said they would not vote to reappoint someone whose track record didn't earn it. Look, this city needs a change. It needs leaders who are critical thinkers, willing to do the right thing, not the easy thing. Going forward, you've got to say and no to rubber stamping. Be the council members we elected you to be. Please, with every vote, remember to be the change. Thank you.
Pendeka. 5.38, Hendeka. Are you here? No. 5.39, Felicia. Maybe. Okay,
Yeah,
no worries. Take your time.
I have sorry about that. I have some handouts that I can give you guys.
Want to give it first?
Okay. Is it one missing?
One.
Yeah.
Hi. Felicia.
Are we starting? Okay, good evening, council members. My name is Felicia Palmer. I'm a 30-year Jersey City resident and co-founder of the tech company Tapioca. Hello. For the past 2 years, I've been working directly with local businesses here in Jersey City, restaurants, shops, and community organizations focused on one question. How do we make sure that small businesses actually benefit from the coming World Cup? To date, there's been over $250 million in public investment, our tax dollars tied to this moment, including $5 million recently allocated by the governor for local activations. And yet the question I continue to hear is, how do we capture our share of the $3 billion in promised economic benefit? And this is coming from small businesses we're talking to. So we created Tapioca Local Rewards. It's a simple process, a simple initiative, no app, no friction. A visitor taps one of our fan cards to their phone and instantly connects with their local businesses, offering rewards, incentives, and discounts. More importantly, it allows us to measure real-world engagement when people interact, where they go, and provide first-party data to our businesses. This isn't theoretical. We've already had dozens of businesses across New York and New Jersey sign up, and with our fan cards are being distributed in 86 locations, including hotels, restaurants, and tourist attractions between New York and New Jersey. Recently, the New Jersey World Cup Host Committee announced its own rewards program, and that's a good thing. But this moment is too big for a single solution. One program can't capture the full opportunity across all of our neighborhoods. We need multiple pathways and more access, more ways for our small businesses to connect with the people coming into our city. I also want to share some context. I first presented this initiative to the JCEDC in June of last year, 2025. Since then, I've met with SIDS, business organizations, and hundreds of local stakeholders about this initiative. About a month ago, we presented a proposal to the mayor's office, including in the meeting was the JCEDC again, Cultural Affairs, in support of a pilot right here in Jersey City. And we have not yet received a response. And I understand how that works and why that is. This is a fast-moving situation. But decisions are being made right now that will determine whether Jersey City businesses fully benefit or are left trying to catch up. So I'd like to respectfully ask the council 3 questions. What portion of state World Cup funding is being directed to Jersey City? How is that money being allocated, and how are we ensuring it leads to measurable outcomes for local businesses here? And are we creating multiple pathways for those outcomes or just one? Here's my ask as a Jersey City local business owner and resident. Support our TAP Local Rewards program in Jersey City. Thank you.
Alicia, just want to let you know that I did speak. Hi, this is Mamta.
Yes, I can't
Be
see.
connected.
Thank you, yes.
I did speak to in the meeting with Sid, also mayor's office, and they shared that you are already in touch with them. So
Yes.
they should be getting back to you soon.
That's what I'm hoping.
I think they do have few questions and we'll be meeting about it soon, but we will meet before that. So
I appreciate you.
the answers.
Thank you.
Our next speaker, Catherine.
Hello, my name's Catherine Moore. I live in the middle of Ward E. I've been working with a few people here in the city after we redistricted in 2022, and we're still kind of feeling the results of that redistricting in our election districts. We have an important election coming up with the midterms, and there's a possibility that more people will be going to the polls as opposed to doing mail-in voting or early voting. Just depends on what our federal administration decides to force upon us. I kind of feel that there are some election districts that were not drawn or redrawn to adhere to the new redistricting of D and E specifically. I can only speak about what's around me, but I think each ward needs to check and see where their polling locations are. And are they at capacity? Are they ready for more people to come? Or should they be rethought and maybe replaced according to the population that now lives near it? Because of downtown, we've had a lot of growth. And so we ended up getting a whole bunch of new election districts. Within those election districts, just one example, 444 Washington Street is 2 buildings. One building, and it's rentals, one building is in District 25, the other one in 24. One building votes in Newport, the other one votes in Harborside. When you type in "where do I vote," it will randomly pick one of those locations. You will not know until the sample ballot comes to which place you should actually go. We've had some problems, coming from when the municipal elections happened, but that's another story. Another one that's big is in D4 in Ward D, 3 buildings are downtown. Because of the locations, its voting district is in the Heights. They have to walk over a mile uphill because there's no public transportation to get there. So they're disenfranchising those 3 new buildings. When you look at the districts, you see that Ward D has 6 polling locations with 27 districts served. You look at the other wards and you'll see a completely different number, over 14, 15, 16 voting locations for over 30 districts. You have some districts, in C that have over 7,000 people going to one voting location. But in, let's say, Ward E, you have people that are only 350 people are going to one location. Just at City Hall and Metropolitan, whatever it's called across the street, each of those only have one district voting in 3 locations, one district each. They could be combined easily into one polling location. All of this just really needs to be looked at, and time is happening now before they have these locations happening in June. Thank you.
June Jones.
She's not here.
Okay.
Thank you, Catherine, for bringing that to our attention. I want to work with you on that.
She's
Is
not
Evelyn here?
either. No,
Okay.
Patrick.
Patrick?
Can you hear me? Perfect. Good evening, council members. My name is Patrick Ambrosi. I'm a trustee of the Jersey City Parks Coalition, as well as founder and president of the Leonard Gordon Park Conservancy. I'm here to actually talk on item 10.29 through 10.33, which is our park space and the open space trust fund dollars that are going to go to improvements. As many of you guys know, Leonard Gordon Park has been a park that historically, as well as Terrace Avenue Park, have historically seen actually 0 capital improvements and disinvestments in our community. Leonard Gordon Park actually had seen its first capital improvement in a span of over 40 years. And I'm happy to say that, we've been able to kind of move forward in making sure that we're activating the community, having events, involving our council people. And one of the things that, we want to make sure that we're doing with phase 2 is expanding our playground, adding splash pad, having dog runs, and making sure that we're continuing the progress that we've been seeing. So, I look forward to working with the Western Slope Neighborhood Association, as Councilman Efro and his office and the community overall. There's another point that actually I just saw today with the agenda. It's 10.36, which is awarding funds to Monahan. In the last couple of years, in the last couple of months, we've actually seen benches from Leonard Gordon Park actually being ripped off. And we actually have photos of a ripped off bench right next to a Monahan vehicle. They're stating that it's not them who did it. I'm going to blame the 2-year-old, but I think that we've had 2 missing benches, 1 damaged bench, and I want to make sure that I keep a closer eye on them, but also the city council to also keep an eye on the contract and making sure that they're paying for things that they've damaged that we've actually been working really hard to utilize taxpayer dollars on. But overall, just thank you for hopefully voting for our open space trust fund dollars and continuing the improvements in our park. Thank you.
Thanks, Patrick. Just on that last note, yeah, one, we definitely are interested in bringing these services in-house so that we have more direct control over these services as soon as we can. I think a lot of the council are on the same page about that. And then I got photos of those benches. I shared them with Parks and Quality of Life so we can get on top of this. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for bringing those points up. I also just want to note that this is just a 3-month, month-to-month extension, and we don't have the capacity to bring these services in-house right like at this moment, like tomorrow. But we, as Councilman Efros said, and I think most of the council is aligned on wanting to bring these services in-house long-term. So thank you for raising that.
Speaker Stephanie.
Hello, my name's Stephanie Starts. Don't worry, that bat house warmed my heart, so you guys can relax. Listening to folks tonight, I kept thinking, oh, they feel the same way. And it's this kind of pervasive feeling, no matter what the issue is, that crime is kind of free or crime is legal. It might be a lack of enforcement. It might be because of state laws watered down. It might be very powerful people just know how to get around the system. I don't have much of a solution to offer to that, but that it's discouraging. I know everyone on this council wants to make this city better, and it just feels like there's a disconnect between planning, strategy, and execution. I've lived here for 10 years and I found myself thinking in the warm weather, oh, it's Fast and Furious season. And that's when, people drag race down Grand Street. And if I'm noticing there's a pattern, why don't the police notice that pattern and enforce traffic tickets? Like the folks at Portside Towers probably know, there'll just be a random car meetup in the Korean War Memorial. And it's like, that's fine if you have a permit, but I highly doubt it. So that's just something to throw out there. Just my comments last week, I didn't get to a couple questions, just throwing them over the fence. If you eminent domain the property that Christ Hospital sits on, how long can that litigation last? What could it cost the city? Does it help the community if you spend a prolonged period of time in litigation? Who would pay for the just compensation to eminent domain that property? Where would that money come from? I also want to just talk about briefly cost containment in healthcare. Emergency room visits are very expensive. They're a burden on the whole healthcare system. Using an emergency room for something that preventable care could have, leads to excess costs for taxpayers, provider burden, and reduces quality of patient care. And when you divert those preventable visits into an urgent care clinic or preventative screenings, it's estimated to save about $4 billion annually. And that's US-wide numbers. Now, there is a crisis stabilization center opening in Newark that anyone who is experiencing a mental health or substance abuse issue can walk in. The police and fire departments can walk in and bring people in there, and that will hopefully get people the care they need and also bring down costs overall.
Thank you, Stephanie. Okay, we are done with our public speaking section. We're moving on to our P's and C's. Have communication 6.1 to 6.48. Are there any questions or comments on these items?
Just want to reiterate that I'm looking forward to seeing 6.1. Rest of that on Monday. Thank you.
Thank you. Our officers' communications, there were none. Our reports of directors, there were none. Moving on to our claims and addendum 1, 2, and 3.
Just have a question if I can.
Go ahead.
Peter, thank you for getting back to me about the furniture I asked about on Monday. I appreciate you noted that there's capital money being spended as opposed to spending down the operational budget. Question is the capital money that was set aside for the renovations of City Hall, could that have been used on other things, or is that specifically for the City Hall renovation?
So it's specifically for the City Hall renovation. It's not all capital. Some of it was COVID funding, other kind of funding sources, but all the current renovations and probably the majority of the renovations were from capital.
Okay, and then, so could that money have been spent on anything, any other capital project that the city was invested in?
When we do the capital projects, they're done through bonds. We have to identify in the bond what the money would be spent for. At the previous time, it was approved for doing renovations to capital for the City Hall premises.
So the desk chair, guest chair, table, the delivery fee, and the desk were all out of that money bonded for the furniture for City Hall?
No, the work on City Hall, the renovations came out of capital. The furniture came out of the operating budget for the department.
Okay, thank you.
Peter, quick question, Peter. Just by way of processes and how things are supposed to go, if you know, so I received information, and I don't know if it's accurate or not, but it's problematic for me. So if a developer gets cited and the building is not supposed to be occupied, how do a developer then begin to get permits to do work?
I'm not entirely sure the context of that. If you want to email the details or a specific example, that might be the best way to address it.
But I guess a better question is, what is the city's process as it relates to individuals being able to get permits when they have open violations of a building not supposed to be occupied?
It would depend if they have a TCO. There's multiple elements there that I think it'd be hard to just theorize around. If there's a specific example, I think the best way to handle it is we could go over this specific example with the director of the ATDC and the construction staff to kind of address the points one by one. But generally speaking, if you're not permitted to have, a permit to work be done, you can't do it, or you can't occupy it until that work's completed.
Yes.
However, there's some examples where if you have a TCO, but there's permits that allow the building to be occupied, but you have to do some electrical work or something like that, that's involving the habitability of the building. There are some circumstances where that can be done. It's very technical, so I don't know what the details, how to parse that one out for you specifically.
All right, thank you.
Okay, I'm going to take the vote. Names items 1, 2, and 3. Councilperson Brooks.
Again, for the members of the public watching at home or anyone here, in the aggregate, this is 59.9 million in spending, just if you're keeping track. I vote aye.
Just on meeting claims list 9.1 or claims 1, I was asking about the furniture expenditure, which totals about $5,600. I think it was for one office renovation. It was a desk for $3,600, a guest chair for $430, a desk chair for $420. The table was $920, and the delivery of that was $300. I know our obligation in the claims is this money was already paid, already expended. But if the administration is going to ask us to tighten our belts and ask our citizens to tighten our belts, we need to spend less money on stuff like desks. So I vote no on the claims.
Councilperson Efros.
I'd vote aye out of obligation to vote aye on the claims, but I appreciate the sentiments of my colleagues. Yeah.
Councilperson Little.
I believe I am allowed to line item vote yay or nay. I would like to vote nay on the furniture that Councilman Zupa raised, and I would like to vote aye on the rest.
Okay, Councilperson Gilmore,
Aye.
Councilperson Singh,
I vote aye.
Councilperson Griffin,
Aye.
Councilperson Lavaro,
Aye.
Council President Ridley.
Aye.
Okay, claims and addendums. Number one. Just gonna cap. Number one is seven, two. Addendums number 2 and 3.
That's
Are voted 8-1. Okay, so we are done with the claims and addendum. On to our resolutions. I'm going to take a vote on items 10.1 to 10.13. Now, 10.12, I believe we're withdrawing. That's still accurate?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, thank you. And we also voted on 10.6, 10.7, and 10.8 earlier in the day. So I am taking a vote on 10.1 to 10.5, 10.9 to 10.11, and 10.13. Councilperson Brooks.
Before I vote, am I able to record votes for the resolutions when I was not here, or no? That's
Yeah, you,
I took them earlier.
You did it already.
I did that.
you voting on the resolutions now.
okay. Great, long day. All right. I vote aye on all.
Thank you. Councilperson Zupa.
Aye on 10.1 to 10.13.
Councilperson Efros.
I vote aye.
Councilperson Little.
I vote aye on all. I also want to note on 10.10, Resolution 26-1-1, or dash 161, sorry, that these are the polling places that the Hudson County Board of Elections has selected, and we are just entering into polling place lease agreements, but I really appreciate, Catherine, the points that you brought up, and my office will be working and reaching out to the Hudson County Board of Elections to find out more about how these polling sites are determined and if there's a more equitable way to locate them. Thank you. And we will include you on that as well. Thank you.
Councilperson Gilmore.
Aye for all.
Councilperson Singh.
Aye for all.
Councilperson Griffin.
Aye for all.
Person Lavaro.
10.1 to 10.13.
Yes.
I want to defer to Councilwoman Singh. Do you want to say something on 10.9? You're the co-sponsor with me. Come on.
I want you to speak about it, please.
I'll start with the good stuff. So the 10.9, glad to co-sponsor this with Councilwoman Singh. I'm glad to be on the council with a fellow Asian American and to be able to commemorate Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month in the month of May. It was a lonely place up here until Michael Yun was here as well, and now I'm glad to be up here with the councilwoman. And the councilwoman is planning with my office a series of events and cultural affairs. Hopefully that we'll be able to celebrate them in May and truly bring out all the contributions of Asian Americans here in Jersey City. That being said, I'm going to vote aye on all, but I do have on all the resolutions. But I do want to put something on the record tonight with regard to 10.1 to 10.3. These are the resolutions requesting permission for the dedication by rider. And during Monday's caucus, I had asked why these dedication by rider requests for the arts tax and the payroll tax weren't submitted to the Division of Local Governments Services earlier. The administration has been, the city, I should say, has been collecting those art taxes since 2022 and the payroll tax since 2019. That is a long time to be collecting funds and not having designated those specific purposes within the legal framework
in order to ensure those funds are legally restricted to those purposes. I asked for the annual balance of these accounts and whether the funds have been collected and not been commingled with the city's general funds. I did receive verbal assurances that they had not been, and I appreciate that assurance, but I am not satisfied. I am formally requesting that the administration provide a written accounting from the CFO or the BA showing the annual balances of each fund since collection began, where those funds were deposited, and what, if any, expenditures were made from those funds prior to tonight's actions. The residents who pay the arts tax and the payroll tax deserve to know what that their money was used for the purposes it was collected for, and not as a general operating fund and a slush fund for the previous administration. But I will vote yes, because this is just establishing the proper legal framework, and I want that to happen. And I also just want to close with this on this statement is that for the public, I appreciate the administration. They've shared a great deal of information, even in my best times with the previous administration, when I had a decent relationship with them, did not get this kind of information and cooperation. And so I appreciate that. But we want to make sure that anyone who's if any funds were not used for the purposes that they were dedicated for, that people are held accountable who may have been involved in that process. I vote on aye.
Rolando, I'm Asian too, Rolando. 10.9, I'm Asian too.
Yes, I vote yes on all.
Yes.
Yes.
Councilperson Ridley.
Aye for all.
Okay. So just to read.
Asian too?
Yes.
All right. I'm sorry. I apologize, Councilman Gilmore.
You just want to be included.
Yes. I'm Asian.
Okay.
Go ahead, Amanda.
So resolutions 10.1 to 10.13 are approved, 9-0, with the exception of 10.12 with which was withdrawn. Now we're going to move on to 10.14 to 10.
To 23.
That's again 10.14 to 10.25.
25.
Yeah.
Okay.
Councilperson Brooks.
Before I cast my vote, I just want to speak on 10.22. I appreciate the response from Amadi, who came and presented on behalf of this resolution, and heard the public speaker talk about the effect of building market rate or luxury rate apartments in working class and poor neighborhoods. This development does have 10 affordable units. That's 10 more than we had. And, you know, this administration, I'm looking forward to their approach to the Affordable Housing Trust Fund, digging in to build more units and to focus on the very low income level. So I appreciate the explanation from Amadi and the developer. So I am voting aye on all. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilperson Zupa.
Okay, on 10.15, that's the attorney serving as public defenders. I've known one of the members for 13 years, long before he was a public defender for Jersey City. He was my friend for long before that. He was a public defender long before he donated $300 to my council campaign. And I would assume, regardless of whether he did that or not, he would have been reappointed. But I will abstain on 10.15. I will vote no on 10.20. It's a beautiful golf course, but the event celebrating our 250th anniversary of independence should be open to the public if they want to do a firework show. And on 10.19, I want to congratulate everyone, but also the individuals who live in Ward C for serving on the Arts and Culture Trust Fund. So abstain on 15, no on 20, aye on the rest.
Councilperson Efros.
I just have one question on 10.20. one of the concerns raised was whether this firework display is going to cause a significant disturbance to animals in the park. I mean, was any of that built into the permitting questions, that there'd be environmental effects beyond noise pollution to residents?
It's not part of the permit process.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, with that in mind, I will vote aye on all except for 10.20.
Are you nay or abstaining on 10?
Oh, excuse me. No on 10.20.
Councilperson Little?
You know, I recognize the joys of watching fireworks, but I think also at this point in time, we need to recognize the air quality impacts from fireworks. Many municipalities have begun to move towards light shows or drone shows in lieu of fireworks displays. I remember, I think it was last year, maybe it was the year before, the morning after the 4th of July, there was really dense particulate matter hanging in the air after the fireworks display. And Jersey City already has some of the highest rates of asthma in the state. And, you know, I think we need to begin to look towards, you know, identifying other ways to celebrate patriotic occasions that don't involve making our air dangerous for sensitive populations to breathe. So I'm going to vote no on 10.20 and aye on the rest.
Thank you. Councilperson Gilmore?
Voting no on 1020, aye on all the rest. As it relates to 10.22, I'm elated that this area is finally seeing some development. It's not the amount of affordable that we were hoping for, but it is a step in the right direction. I'm thankful that these developers are from the community who took the chance and develop. It is a rough area, I'm going to be honest. So I think this project is how we should be doing affordable housing. So I'm looking forward to see what comes to fruition. I'm always also looking forward to more development in Ward F that's encompass of the entire community in Ward F. So I'll vote aye on all but 1020.
Okay, thank you. Councilperson Singh?
I have a rescue dog and I see him going through torture every single time there is a firework. And I know what animals go through, and I have been big advocate of animals' right. I would vote no for 1020, but then I vote aye. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilperson Griffin?
On 1022, Brentley David, you guys, you're young men from the community building where nobody wants to build. And you're building affordable housing for the community, for people to have a place to stay. And you should be proud of yourselves for doing such. So, you get my support anytime. As far as 1020, I have to agree with my colleagues, but I do have a question. Are these fireworks being shot off the river or in the park?
Not entirely sure, but I believe it in the park or the private property of the park. There's the golf course that's over there. I believe they'd be happening on the golf course.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to vote no on that and aye on everything else.
Okay, thank you. Councilperson Navarro?
On 10.14, I just want to congratulate Andy Abrams and thank him for his longtime service to Jersey City. And congratulations to all the public defenders in 10.15. On 10.17 and 10.18, again, just want to thank the administration. They provided asked some questions, got some answers here, and appreciate that and their cooperation. And then on 10.22, to the gentleman developing Harmony House, good luck with the project, and we look forward to the development that will serve the people of Jersey City and serve people at all incomes and the affordable housing opportunities there. I vote aye at all.
Council President Ridley?
We're going to 25, you said, right?
Yes.
Okay. I vote aye on all.
Okay, just give me a moment to recap, please. So we have resolutions 10.14 to 10.19 approved 9-0. 10.20 is defeated. And 10.21 to 10.25 approved 9-0. Actually, you know what? I'm sorry. Zupa on 10.15 abstained. So let me do that again. 10.14 to 10.14 alone is 9-0. 10.15 is 8-0-1. That's Councilman Zupa abstaining. 10.16 to 10.19 approved 9-0. 10.20 is defeated. 10.21 to 10.25 approved 9-0. Okay, so the next group of resolutions. 10.36 to 10.38.
26.
26 to 38.
10.36 to 10.38.
26.
They're numbered wrong on the agenda. I apologize. So it's 10.26 to 10.38, but you'll see it on your agendas. It also says that, but
10.26. Yes.
Yeah, Sean made an error.
I don't know who. I'm not gonna do that. Okay, Councilperson Brooks.
Before I vote, I just want to speak briefly on 10.37. My partner is Afro-Latina, and we had a Black doula. And so I'm excited to see this. I'm excited to see Black Maternal Health Week being honored in Jersey City. I vote aye on all. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilperson Zupa.
Just on 1034, consistent to a prior comment I made, I wanted to thank Corporation Counsel for the way she's evaluating cases, recognizing this case was settled before Ms. Levine took office as Corporation Counsel, and me recognizing that I do similar, or I've done similar work in the past. We're overpaying the plaintiff, but I won't disturb the settlement. But I just appreciate Corporation Counsel for better evaluating cases. I vote aye on all.
Thank you. Councilperson Efros.
I vote aye on all. Very excited for the open space money to be coming through to our city's parks. Excited that we have further resolutions in honor the end there of Black Maternal Health Week and of Fred Jackson. Thanks to Councilman Griffin for bringing that last resolution in. Excuse me, Gilmore.
Councilperson Little.
I vote aye on all. Proud to support open space improvements. Proud to support Black maternal health.
Councilperson Gilmore.
Oh,
Councilperson Singh.
Sorry, aye for all.
Councilperson Griffin.
Aye for all.
Councilperson Lavaro.
I just wanted to take a moment on resolutions 180 to 184, or 10.29 to 10.33. So I'll be voting yes on these resolutions. They're good investments in parks across our city. And I'm glad we're pursuing the open county space funding to support them. But I do want to put something on the record, and I raised questions at caucus about the source and availability of the city's match, which totals $2.82 million across all 5 resolutions. So it's important we get this and make sure that these funds are available. And so I'm just going to ask the business administrator on the record to, I received a response from Director Weller and follow up from you today as well. And you confirmed that the monies were available. And if you could just speak on the record about that.
Hello, there we go. Just to clarify, of the 5 resolutions, the requests to the county, they're not guaranteed. So the councilman is correct. The total request is about $2.82 million. It's not guaranteed we're going to receive that of those awards from the county. We always ask for it, and we usually get, a half or so of the requests that are made. So we would have to have around $2 million, approximately available to match those funds if we are granted them. We do have multiple capital accounts that cover parks. Right now, we have about $15 million allocated to parks in general. Of that $15 million, there is sufficient accounts in, various miscellaneous accounts that would cover that $2 or so million that we need to match these funds. So we wouldn't be asking for any new bonds or any new, new money. They're already existing in the capital accounts. We can use those as funds for any of these matches if they're awarded to us.
Thank you. Thank you for that clarification. And with that, I will also just add congratulations to Montford Point Marine PFC Fred Jackson on his recognition with the U.S. Congressional Gold Medal. It's an extraordinary recognition, and looking forward to seeing, I think he's 93 years old, is that right? Seeing him on Saturdays, so, and honoring him. And I vote aye on all.
Thank you. President Ridley.
I vote aye on all, and on 1037, honoring Black maternal health. I just want to let my colleagues and the public know for the 2nd year in a row, I am hosting a Black maternal health event on Tuesday at Jersey City Medical Center from 6 to 8, open to the public.
Right.
Hey, just to recap on 10.26 to 10.28, all resolutions are approved 9-0. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
9:16. Motion to adjourn made by Gilmore. Second by Ridley, Lavaro. Okay. Motion to close the meeting at 9:16. Councilperson Brooks.
Aye.
Councilperson Zupa.
Aye.
Councilperson Efros.
Aye.
Councilperson Little.
Aye.
Councilperson Gilmore. Councilperson Singh. Councilperson Griffin.
Aye.
Councilperson Lavaro.
Aye.
Council President Ridley. Okay, thank you. We are out of here at 9:16. Oh, teamwork makes the dream work.